not been the best. So losing dominantly to Heretics, losing to BBL, losing to Heretics again, and they had one win versus KC. But they have changed things up. They put Xiao back on Sova, which I bet Bear will be jealous that she's not cast in this game. But also putting Angel back on Omen. Now, it definitely had its problems in the past. Sometimes you'd lose your smokes within 4 seconds of the round. At the same time, they were winning more.
It's been tough for NAVI. Like you said, 8 maps in a row this stage, 10 in total. That kind of loss is unprecedented, and we heard it from Angel. It's tough to live through times like that for him. But they still believe in the team and the system they've built, and now a chance to test it out against Mates. For NAVI, qualification on the line for Mates. A chance. Still have to watch another game and see how it goes. Attacking side, already taking space. They're going to A, but there's been a push-up from NAVI that's about to be contacted on by Whalers. He doesn't expect the second.
It's already going to be traded in the favor of the French, but the trade back, stun good, and Kata can't jump out of that one. The trade, though, from the tank is even better. And well, one thing that has always been a piece of this man's puzzle is clutches. 30 seconds, a complete reposition from the side of Mates. But the fact is, Xiao's got there so fast that although they're going to take their time rotating back, there should be a realization relatively soon. Bayaz already tagged up, so definitely an opportunity for Xiao. And he's got himself a reveal and a shock dart left. Eventually, as I said, it's going to be probably the plant now that actually gives things away. And he's going to have a lot of positions to check by the time he makes it to that B site.
Yeah, that's quite a run. At least no one lurking around to take him down up close. Standard B main post plant from Mates. Bayaz low, opportunity. The recon from Xiao could maybe give him the information he needs, but even then they're quite spread out. This is a tough clutch, and one that's going to run down a lot of this clock. Be blessed if he could get it to half, but Bayaz is the one watching that. Here comes the reveal. Player behind is low, and he has a shock dart, but going for the half, sticking it. He's got it halfway. Now he can try to take the fight, force them into open combat, but that's his downfall. The tank with his 3rd kill in the round. He might not be on the wall, but he's on the board, 1-0.
I think it's going to be super important today that he has a good game. And that's sort of been the thing with Gentlemates throughout this split. It's a bit of an odd one because at times I think we can say that they've looked impressive. Like even in series, I talked about last week, they won Icebox when facing up against Heretics. That's a huge victory. They beat Koi, who've had a massive resurgence. Even 13-1'd GX on the first map of the split. And then lost the series, and that's been the thing. It's almost like split personalities. Like this team sometimes can look unstoppable, and then the next map, well, it looks like they never turned up at all. For NAVI, well, it's been a lot more of the latter. This round, good paranoia, a chance for Zipan to do some serious damage. Actually, Bayaz is tagged as well. But they are just going to opt to pivot and move away from this.
And it's a perfect call. Good space taken by Whalers with the pistol. Same thing could be said by Kadavra. He's pushed up on A, already getting them a little bit of control. Whalers lurk, catching massive value. 2 quick kills, and that should put this one to bed. A Bulldog saved by Zipan. Picked up. Now he'll try to use it to thin out the economy of Mates, but he is bringing one of the weapons back to them. And the 2 players taking the fights are the ones with pistols, the ones that can afford to go down and will get an upgrade if they find the kill, pincering him as well. Those steps are heard. Kata's going to be quickly up behind him and closing out the round, retrieving the Bulldog too. That is a solid second round from Gentlemates.
Yeah, not bad. Keeping it nice and clean. Weaponry not going down either, which is the most important piece of these sort of rounds, especially when you have a couple of pistols. Even better than that, the tank has managed to get the Hunter's Fury online, so that's going to be a huge piece to the puzzle now going into their bonus round. And the thing is, it doesn't even look that much like a bonus. You're talking about 5 rifles, an ultimate, plenty of utility to play with, and your opponents, well, I guess the only deterrent there is you have a Bulldog instead of a Vandal.
Small disadvantage, but even then, depends on whose hands it's in. Those right clicks with the Bulldog on pixel angles can be nasty. We saw that yesterday on Haven. Shock up close, trying to destroy any traps. The intention wasn't to damage Zipan. They don't know he's there. And luckily, they won't be finding out, or at least not the hard way. Going back around to mid. Drone out. And the space taken in some of these rounds from Mates has relied on causing those over-rotations in the early rounds, the pistol, the anti-eco. They won't get away with it quite as easily this time, though. NAVI much more content to hold their choke points, and, well, Sugetsu's the first to draw blood.
Yeah, he's someone I've definitely got my eye on today because we haven't seen the Sugetsu of old. Like, this was a guy that was absolutely tearing up EMEA and the international stage at times. I still remember his arrival at Masters Copenhagen. It was a pretty big deal.
Right here.
Ended up with the trophy. The fact is, it hasn't been the same player, but if he can get back even close to where he was before, I think this series will be theirs. And that stands for a lot of players within this team. Angel, aggressive, no surprises there. The smokes will be gone, but we knew that was going to happen. 25 seconds left, and the Spike is making its move, but they haven't cleared out Ardis. Even him just holding on to this position could be huge.
I mean, the problem now, they know exactly where he is. Yeah, Whalers popped the ultimate, hat off the head. Now they know the smokes go down and the Spike through to the site. They just need to defend it long enough, and Caddis doing one hell of a job. 3 kills. The third he had no right to. He was low, but the wide swing caught them off guard. What a round from him, and that's to cement Gentlemates 3-0. Economy for Navi trailing, and they're thriving on the attacking side.
Yeah, again, it's the same story though for Navi. You pull yourself a man advantage, you get in a position where you look like you're going to win the round, and then, well, 3 players swing on one and they lose the fight. Like, it's a huge round from Kada, but again, you have to look at Navi and go, I don't know how that's happened. It's going to put them on a low bite for this one. And that Hunter's Fury, well, wasn't even needed in the last round.
No, it's still here and unlikely to be dispensed in a round like this. Lots of weaknesses for the defensive side. Pistols, Stinger in the hands of Ardis. Gentlemates, they might look like they're taking a bit more of a direct approach from the players that we're watching, but we definitely have Whalers and Cadavra still spread out, casting that wide net to catch any aggression that comes out of Navi. And it's very important to do this in the early rounds, just to keep Navi in a position where they don't feel like they can get aggressive. Even their A-hold, which is the most advanced piece of information they have, sees Angel put down a one-way, but then play way back. Obviously, they've only got pistols, as like we said last round. They were more keen to take those fights on choke points last round with rifles. Now that you don't have them, you kind of have to just deny space and concede it when it's challenged until you've got the numbers. For all their trouble, they've got the numbers on B. They're ready for this push.
Trip causing maybe a little bit more trouble than they'd be hoping for, and Sugetsu is going to manage one. The pop flash, not bad, but it doesn't catch everybody. Sugetsu still making this one that little bit more costly, and now has Angel to support. Again, though, with him so desperately low on HP, there'd need to be more of a mistake. And in this 1v2 scenario, he's going to need some pretty immediate shots. So he's going to use the ult. I don't mind it. Neural Theft will at least give him a gap. Try and take a little bit of extra space.
They think he's backside because of where he used the ult. Now, though, they're starting to realize the timing's good for him to wrap. Spotted at 26 HP. He's lucky to still be alive. His luck has ran out in the end. 4-0 for Gentlemates. A lights-out start to their pick of Sunset. The question is, in this buy round, do we see Navi bounce back?
Oh, they need to. Actually, it's going to be a very early pause, and I don't mind that at all, right call. I think the way that things have been going, again, they could have easily had a round on the board already if it wasn't for the heroics of Cadavra. And with how important this game is, like, again, we've got to highlight the stakes here but more importantly for the mates. The same could be said for Takas.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things is the fact that Navi, they come into this buy round, their economy's on the line, they're 4-0 down, looking at a few more rounds going their opponent's way, and they don't have that ult economy. You want to fight for those orbs, you want to get them early, but on a map like this, it can be difficult, especially for the defenders. You're always going to be out in the open, more likely to take it on A, but yeah, it's not going to be worth risking your whole round plan on, but it would be nice. It would be a convenience to at least have those safety nets to fall back on. Instead, it's mates, the team leading, that have that Hunter's Fury post-plant danger, clearing out corners, especially on a map like Sunset. Lots of tight laneways that you can blind fire that down. And we've seen an increase in blind fire Hunter's Furies as of late. Lots of utility expanded to try to get Cadavra out of position, but all it amounts to is a Shrouded Step, and as they attempt to punish, Zipan gets dropped. This is a failure of an early fight for Navi, and Gentlemates read that with the advantage, group up, and hit the A site together. All 5 in that choke point now.
Yeah, and there's not really any information. Angel seems aware that they could have wrapped back around and no presence shown in mid since.
They're rotating, okay.
Could be good. That knife is going to get so much. 4 players. This is everything for Navi. They know, but it doesn't matter. Bear's just going to hit the shot anyway, and now, with Ardis left in no man's land, it's still Just Angel
30 seconds
alongside
left.
Xiao. Paranoia is going to slow them at least a little bit, but again, it doesn't matter. It's just disjointed. Finally, we see something from the side of NAVI, but it's left all onto Xiao. Finally onto the board. He's given a
One
chance.
enemy remaining.
This is the thing with this man in clutch scenarios. You may doubt NAVI at this point, but you can never doubt Xiao. Already the dart will reveal.
Spike
No,
planted.
it won't. It won't reveal Whalers, but he knows where he is anyway. And he connects the shot on the jump. As said, sometimes, maybe most of the time at the moment, you could doubt NAVI, but you never, ever doubt Xiao.
Now, put some respect on this man's name. What an incredible way to put a round on the board for NAVI. You know, I said they didn't have those ultis. Maybe they want some orbs early, so they've got a safety net. Stupid me. I forgot they have this guy. I forgot he was there. Absolutely unreal. And it starts here, even on the way to the site. Artis is separated. It feels like there's a disconnect. Angel's putting a smoke down while Artis is swinging. Then he's not there. He has a paranoia to react, but he's busy. They're not on the same page. But when this man's all alone, my goodness, he pulls this out of nowhere. You just witnessed his first kill so far. And
His
then a few
first kill,
more.
his second kill, his third kill, and his fourth kill to get him a Red Bull clutch. It's a way for them to get their first round, but it is just the first round. A costly one at that, and look at Takaz. He's already going to claim the space immediately. And for the side of NAVI, this time you have to show the respect.
Absolutely. The space is conceded, they fall back, but you know, the thing is they've got some ultimates of their own. Mates have built up almost all of theirs. Takaz is just burnt down. Hunter's Fury still there. Beaz ready to counter out a lot of the utility on the way back through. And there it is. It's called now, and this is going to delay Hunter's Fury even thrown through, and that's what I'm talking about. Those little choke points, narrow passageways. Hunter's Fury lights it right up. 3 players ready to swing. Cat is the point of contact up top. He's already seen a few, and they're ready to fight towards the spawn. In fact, smoke goes down, and they get close. Spam battles. Leaves Cat a little worse for wear, but still no ground taken by NAVI. They need to wrestle for control, and there's too many players. Angel all alone. 1 versus 3. Time ticking quite far, and the big swing, even the wall bangs to take him down. Gentlemates, a little bit of a hiccup caused by Xiao, but now they're right back to winning ways.
Yeah, and they have put the economy of their opponents completely in the dirt. It's a horrific scenario for NAVI winning a round and then losing one straight back. And for Mates, I like it. Just a complete change of pace. Like, up until this point, they've been playing these slower, passive rounds where they sort of feel out the map. You've had the sort of double look of Kadabra and then Whalers even further behind at times. This time, they just send it. And I believe maybe even Kadabra might have TP'd into the back as well. Like, they had a multiple take of just the pace of Takaz and then that immediate use of the ult. Same going to be the case here. I don't think that's caught anything. And while Zipan versus 3, if he had won that fight, I think I'd be critiquing Gentlemates.
I mean, this is an example, I think, of the attack versus the defense. Mates pop their ultimate on Neon, run into a site, take the space, force them back. Here on the defense, they try to do the same, backing it up with a Hunter's Fury, but it's blind. And there weren't players there. The players shot on B main were too far away to even be connected on. Now, what's the late round plan? Weak weapons. Not a lot you can really do when it comes down to open duels, and that's all that's left to play with at this point. Takaz even has a flash in there. It almost caught Xiao, who has managed to recover a Guardian. He did just have his 4K, but not even one to add to the tally here. The flash saving Takaz.
He deals a lot of damage. Like, there's 2 players through the walls that have just been tagged absurdly low, but yeah, it's meaningless. It might help Angel get a kill. I'll be honest, I don't think Angel's getting a kill.
No, not at all. And the Luthia flawless for the side of Gentlemates. And honestly, with the way that they started this out as well, giving 1 round to NAVI, like you said, Tom, just destroying their economy, their win bonus gone. And for Mates, this could not have started any better. They have had hot starts to series and ended up losing them, so there'll be no getting carried away with themselves just yet, but it's got to feel good to be on the Mates side right now.
The worry as well is, well, when we saw NAVI play this map last, it was their attack where they managed 1 round versus Heretics. They started on that half. Just, they didn't.
It wasn't like a 4-round kind of, okay.
No, yeah, they played the 12. And it is going from bad to worse. You could see that this is, again, they're just this snowball team, Mates. The second they get confident, they get confident. An aggressive push to get that opening kill. Now, Xiao has been able to trade it out. But let's be real, so far this game, Zipan has been having a nightmare. There's Neon aggression, be it peeking mid, be it getting pushed in mid, or be it pushing the spawn. He's died a lot in the early stages of these rounds.
Yeah, he really hasn't been a factor to be feared by mates. Just something that it feels like they've got under control. Player in a box. For mates, a lot of information given to their opponents there. 2 players, both initiators. It's going to give away that they were planning an A hit, but orb taken and a reset late. Rotation from NAVI. 3rd player, Xiao, now arriving on scene, but he'll be watching out on middle, keeping that control. I think the lack of a trap this round really hurt them, but Alcada was able to walk through that smoke for the opening pick. Confuses me, confounds me, that's for sure. Smoke down on B, they'll try to play the fake like this, but I don't know that NAVI are going to move.
It's very disjointed, that's my only worry. All the players are almost staggered at this point. They have smoked them out of the back of the site. I guess that's the saving grace, is they're sat quite far back. They'll be able to get a plant without actually having to fight anybody over on the NAVI side. So that's at least something. Bea's somewhat isolated here, and he's going to lose that initial battle. And the tank also goes down. One of the best opportunities for NAVI since Xiao pulled off an absurd clutch. And Whalers has been spotted. I don't know if they know the position of Cadavra just yet, and he's managed to swing in, but getting onto this defuse, impossible. It will be a second round for NAVI. And our mates, I guess for this very slow play, were maybe finally punished.
Yeah, no, they absolutely were. I think as well, it's a very slow play, and when they finally decide to strike, when the swings come in towards the spawn, they lose the first duel, this one, and there happens to be a reveal thrown in by Xiao that makes it the easiest kill. For I think it was Ardis who picked that one up. 6-2. All right, NAVI back on the board, but we saw that. They got around, and they fell right after. It was Gentlemates coming out with a much more punchy early round that got them back on the board. See if they can do it again. Hunter's Fury back online for the tank.
He's been playing incredibly well. I would say a lot of it is, again, just that firepower that he brings seemingly to any agent. You put him on a Sage, he's still going to frag. Put him on that Raze, Neon, you name it. He's still going to be up there on the board. I guess similarly to Xiao. You can put that man on anything. I think that's one of the more fun things about this matchup. The rest of the players, maybe even across the entire game, can be a little bit less consistent. I'd also put Cadavra in there, actually. For what we've seen from him so far in his first split in the league, he's definitely looked good. Drone will clear out some of these closer corners. Again, the knives from Ardis have been good. They've got a lot of information off the back of it. I did not expect him to get 2 there.
He's done his job. He's got his 2. Zipan's even in for 1. Oh, no, he's not. The tank's left on 37 HP. An easy cleanup, but Whalers given a chance to clutch this one out. They might just do it again for mates. 6-2, looking to put 7 on the board, and only Sagetsu stands in their way. A trap that's going to reveal his position. No, he jumps over, but the sound cue is heard. Whalers knows that his opponent is just around that corner, biding his time for the strike, and there it is! But a few bullets, 1 bullet shy, in fact. Just 5 HP, but it's enough for NAVI to take it across the line. A lifeline gifted here.
Again, it just seems like in these advantageous scenarios, NAVI just take the riskiest thing they could possibly do. It's like, it seemed like a position where if Angel stays passive, this round is done, but instead he swings and tries to fight when his teammate is nowhere to be seen. It's a huge gamble. Luckily, Sugetsu's been there to close out the round. Even still, though, again, they're not keeping any of these particularly clean. A win for mates here would still send the economy of NAVI back into turmoil. Even still, though, ult-wise, again, that Hunter's Fury is available, and it looks like we might see them just try and take some early presence. They have been denied, and again, the knife's connected.
Any early plan for mates seems to just be cancelled out in terms of that util to take space, but it's going to be back online now. They move up, creep into A main. Players holding mid as well. The B side, you know, this is where we see NAVI take a bit more control. They've even put a recon through, which I think was almost a ruse to get Angel to pop someone's head, but no one's there. NAVI have that read. They know the space on B is open. They'll start the rotation, but will they get there in time? Look how far up mates have already pushed. It's going to be pressure on some of these players to get their ones and get out of there.
Still a trip. Oh, they just walked past it. Again, it's Zipan lost. his early fights have been massively unsuccessful, and now that utility has expended, Sugetsu tries to get ahead of it and instead is lost, and Artis was caught with an 8-out. Eventually he goes down. It took a little bit longer than expected, but again, fighting back into this is going to be desperate. I think both players have been spotted. Xiao trying to reclaim some space, but this after plant is a solid one. He's going to do a little bit of tickle damage to Takas, but not anything to really make him fret. The second he goes to swing, there's a multi-swing from the other side. It leaves Angel to try and do it all. He's hoping that they all peak at once, but it isn't going to be the case. And Mates, well, again, a comfortable round to put them up to 7.
Even hunted him down. By the looks of it, Takas wants to take that weapon out of his hands, and he's done it too. Insult to injury. Mates back on the board, extending that lead. A 4-round gap, and we're coming towards the end of the half. This is a problem for NAVI. Their ult economy not online. Their credit economy not there either. It's going to be a sloppy second last round, and they have to decide whether they want to keep it all for the next. Not a nice position to be in, and while this was a round they really wanted.
I think we are seeing the difference. It's Mates moving as a unit and NAVI trying to fight them as individuals.
Like it's their moment.
Yeah, it's the first peak from Zipan solo. Sugetsu does exactly the same thing. Then Artis, he's caught with a nade out, has to pull back. It's like those first 3 kills for Mates are going, okay, well, we're going to swing you together and you're going to try and fight us alone. Again, no surprise, the knife has hit pretty much everyone. It's crazy because NAVI are basically getting that info every round. It's like there are 4 on A. It hasn't helped them.
Especially Mates showing in the first couple rounds the conditioning of being able to take the space and then hit the other side. It's always risky to overcommit it. NAVI will do that this time though. They'll put all their eggs in one basket, at least most of them. 4 players here, and it seems to only be Zipan that's needed. A lights out start from this man. He's retreated to the spawn, and Cat has taken the space to find one more kill. The first for Mates, and the second it follows through. They're not all going into the smoke one at a time. They are, but it's worked out. Zipan found that kill, and he can thank his lucky stars, or this one might have went the other way. But now it's a clutch attempt for Natank. 1 versus 3. Zipan might be low, but the others aren't, and Angel's recovered a rifle. A tough one with 40 seconds on the clock.
He's been good. I don't know if he's been this good. The time definitely playing a factor. Oh, Angel looking the wrong way. That's a first. Zipan low and still hasn't managed to actually retrieve himself a gun. The timing of the player behind those should be easy enough to pull out that kill and more importantly get them the pay safe card Thrifty. Also, before this point, Zipan only had 2 kills and he's just got 3 with the Sheriff.
Little confidence builder. First is easy enough. The second is a hell of a correction, especially when it's Takas on the other side.
I also hate that. I have to. The fact that he ran back into the smoke afterwards, it gave me.
It's tactical.
Gave me a mini panic attack.
You know, he has to reload eventually. If he's killed enough of your teammates.
If only there was like a sound it makes us our reload.
Well, you know, as Neon, it's not like you could get in there quickly to punish it or anything.
No.
You have to go now, right? You got to get ahead of it.
Speaking of going now.
Yeah, right in. Takas activated the ult. Fast lanes up to give them a bit more space on the side. Hunter's Fury again thrown through his crowd control to clear some of these angles, but Sugetsu's filled back in the space. He's inside the smoke, still looking for a fight while the rest of the team has fallen back. He's in danger when this one fades.
And the ult gone. Hunter's Fury available for Xiao. Could use this as a deterrent. Zipan, those gone swinging. And they are lined up like a firing squad, looking to just play that post plant the second it can go in. Already going to be the trade. Hunter's Fury will catch one, a chance for a little bit more. I believe that, yeah, it was a tag onto Cadavra. But that Spike's now running it down all the way back in the other direction. Angel's timing is going to be everything. He's going to put up the one-way to potentially make them believe that somebody's there. I have a feeling they will not fall for that one.
Thought about it being a mid-play. Now the sound cues are there, given away. Quicker rotation coming out of Xiao. He's going to be here. The smoke has delayed them and given him a chance. Using his own smoke and fighting behind it. Beautiful play from Angel, but on the other side of the map, it's been left wide open and Cat has strolled into the house. The open door taken and Natank is on his way to plant that spike. It might be a good punish from Angel, but his flank should be expected. And at this point, they might even plant for the defender spawn and fight into these 2 players that will be retaking. That's exactly what they're going to do.
10 seconds left.
Cadavra. It's how far he goes. It seems like they're aware of it, though. A couple of players waiting on the other side. Timing going to be everything. What? It's Sugetsu that ends up going down. This time, Angel peeks and decides to give it up. Paranoia hasn't connected. And they are completely isolated. A chance to get those 1v1s, but it isn't going to work out. Angel will be the one closing out the round. And from a pretty bleak scenario, you know what? Na'Vi have made it competitive.
Oh yeah, you know Marcus was sweating at 6-2, but now it's close. 2-round gap, 7-5, perfectly manageable.
Yeah, no, yeah, there's definitely some sweat on the brow.
It's been tough for NAVI, but what a recovery. This puts them back in the game, puts the pistol round back as a valuable one, but one that you can let slip and still have the foundations to fall back into. Happy to see this face.
This is where the game truly gets interesting, though, because the one real critique, well, no, actually, no, not one. We had a lot.
I was going to say, yeah.
The main critique for NAVI was their post-plants. There was so many advantages that they lost that, again, you go back to Split 1 and you're just not seeing. I think even talking about, I think it was one of the maps they had versus Koi, it was the split game. They lost 2 1v1s, 2 1v2s, and a 1v3 to lose them rounds. It's just like scenarios that are silly, over peaks, and with advantages that they had. So I'm sure that's something that they've gone into the workshop and tried to improve in the time that they've had. We saw in the interview with Angel, though, it's been tough. And for the side of Gentlemates, okay, their large lead definitely slipped towards the end of that half, but we're looking to see if they can get that momentum back with the pistol.
First combat towards A. He is actually facing in. Good spam, great connection. Artis is down to 13. Spike on its way. And post plant here for NAVI should be secured. Now, we saw... I didn't see that. We saw a lot of issues when it came down to individual peaks. I don't want to see them falling alone in this post plant. I want to see them fighting together, taking these duels as a unit, and towards spawn is the best place to do it. It's only Cadavra here. Good flash. Swing is solid, and Kata couldn't see a thing, but they have managed to drop Zip. I'm not aware. There's so many other players here, and it seems like a flurry of frags will close this one. Bayaz with it all to do and no chances. 6-7. NAVI hot on the heels of Gentlemates now, despite a slow start to the map.
Yeah, you can see that they're clearly wanting to try and get up in the faces of Gentlemates, wanting to make sure that they can get those advantages, and also just playing more so in one direction, because there was a quick rotation back from the side of Mates, but once they lost their own spawn, then it becomes so difficult. And yeah, solid flash coming out from Artis. That's the thing. His numbers in terms of kills, lower than what we expect from Artis, but his assists, as I said, he's got so much information off that knife all the way through the first half. And a solid flash to kick things off. That's the more important thing, especially with Zipan being that duelist. We know from, well, I think the Paddy Miniboo probably still my favorite duo on those pop flash setups. If they can replicate that, be a good opportunity.
I can't wait to see Paddy and whoever his next duo will be. No doubt in the VCT.
They should be queuing up, honestly.
Yeah, oh, they should.
Oh, well, Paddytech's going to be supporting me? I'm on the team.
Radiant 1 and 2. Give it 2 weeks.
Woot might have something to say about that.
Little tag going through from Zipan, softening up Bayaz. Most of the Gentlemates players don't have anything to work with. No shields, a few pistols.
Yep.
2 sheriffs and a ghost. And one of those has already tasted blood. It was Zipan, dropped the man who had the bulldog and wanted to get a little bit aggressive. Now they fall back to the main play. Just post
Gets who juggled it. He's juggled the gun all the way back.
Okay.
So they haven't been able to retrieve it, and now Angel has it in his hands. That's a good teammate right there. Making sure they have the guns, but anything more is costly. And while anything more than this is starting to get dangerous. Now already. This was 4 rifles invested. They've already lost 1. The question is, do they lose the round? The spam's going to make things awkward, but they're keeping their advantages. And to get to a good teammate moments ago, juggling, now he's going to clean up every single kill. Big round from him to move up that scoreboard, but more importantly, it puts NAVI level.
Yeah, what? He went from juggling to carrying. Beautiful round from him. 7-7, tied up neck and neck. Gentlemates, full buy, no heavy shields, but doesn't seem like any outlaw enjoyers. What a good guy.
His best highlight of the round, other than this.
Best part is he keeps the bulldog for himself. Leaves the guardian there for his buddy. I respect it. I think it was what, Angel only had a pistol at the initial fight, so not too bad. Losses not really felt. The clean up in the last, but Mates, as I said, they've got the rifles out. This is their chance. on the defensive side. And we saw an attempt at some aggression, but smokes up from both sides seem to have deterred it. Mates resetting. They haven't got a lot of mid control towards the top of mid, but the tank is watching from the door. Little off angle, and if Navi go too far, that could be a free kill.
It's very interesting to me that you've got Zipan, the one without a gun in this round. So he's going to be playing the Ghost. I can only assume that means they're almost going to just send him in. Yeah, it's literally, he's going to try and swing every single angle, and then the only goal is for him to be traded. If he gets a kill, fantastic, but chances are slim. I will say again, nobody having the full shields on the other side means that Ghost a little bit more prominent. Yep. Look at a headshot, body shot. But as said, his only real goal is to get traded.
Yeah, we want to see how this Neon grows into the second half, because the first half, it didn't work. Defensive aggression was punished time and time again. The utility didn't really get them to where they needed to be, and it felt like for opening duels, I don't know what the numbers are, but I don't think they're great for Zipan. This isn't the round where he pops off. This is the round where a teammate trades, as you've said, but let's see if they get the opportunity. Whalers up close, great damage done by Zipan. Makes it doable. Artis on for 2, and Navi up on the board, it seems. The tank tagged very low, and 3 players holding him on the fight. Good trade by Kata. Makes it doable. It's a 1v2 for him, a manageable scenario. Paranoia not going to be thrown through, and that's his mistake. Swinging in, I think it might have even been chunked at the last second, but yeah, it didn't catch the right corner. The angle was open, and it's punished.
Yeah, I think he was hoping that the other player would be defending the planter. Instead, Xiao was much further forward. But this is exactly it. Zipan did his job, got the info, and then we're starting to see, again, those individual plays from players like Artis.
Unlucky.
Put himself further up onto the board.
Okay.
Incredible insight, honestly.
They're a team that can definitely, they don't pull any punches when the Sheriffs are in play. We've already seen the damage. Someone like Zipan, half his kills were in one round with a Sheriff, which is sad to say. Sad to see, sad to say. Both. An early push, and it's Takas dropped. Zipan looking for more, doubling up perhaps, but Kata manages to evade with some tricky maneuvers. Although he's not going to get too far. Stuck on the A site, and here comes the cavalry straight around the corner for easy kills. Well, Zipan must have heard me, as if half his kills were from the Sheriff. That stat no longer holds any water. He's now got 9 kills on the board, and looks like NAVI might just follow suit with 9 rounds.
Yeah, I can't see a world where they get back into this one. The big thing will be that economy boost.
One enemy remains.
Also more of a confidence boost. As said, Zipan's gone from what, 2 and 10, a nice shot from the tank. I heard a couple of people calling for the ace. Well, there is still one on. A little bit tougher to hit.
It might be harder to land this ace, yeah. I'm not going to get behind it just yet.
How many more? How many more does he need for you to
2.
believe?
If he gets 2, I'm in. 100%. All right, well, that seems to be a little easy. Let's see the next one. They're double swinging out on mid. He's hit him to 1 HP. It's getting. How's he got a rifle? How's he got a rifle?
I think Xiao was lining up the greatest shot dart of all time, and then just went, he is looking at me. He's looking at me.
I'm in danger. Well, 9 rounds secured, and, well, Zipan had one hell of a round. He might have been denied the ace, but that's 4 kills to bring him up to 10. A very slow start to this map for not just Navi, but for Zipan in particular. And as soon as we bring it up, the guy pops off.
At 2 and 10, he then got 3 kills with the Sheriff. 4 kills this round. Yeah, I like how he carried on lining up. He's like, nah, I believe in my shot.
Oh, he's peeking me. I'll have a bounce.
Hold on, guys, hold on.
That'll get him. That'll teach him.
Wow, pacey start again. Our confidence is definitely building. The only thing is, has it gone too far? Like, Zipan has just walked straight up into top mid. He's going to try and fake this out and then go back in the other direction. Bear in mind, the only player really holding in this position, well, I was going to say is Whalers and the Tank, but, well, oh, sorry, Kadavra. But Kadavra's just fallen back and Whalers has gone down.
Now they're very much boxed in. Locked out for Gentlemates. Going back to a 2-2 split. Zipan awaiting the entry and market, and he's popping off. This man has warmed up, that's for sure. Looking for a 10th round now, and his 2K might secure it. The other players running for the hills even after the trade. It's just not worth competing for. NAVI They found double digits. What a course correction this has been. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. I feel like I'm delusional. It was 6-2 to Gentlemates at one point. They were winning every duel. It didn't look like they could make a mistake. Xiao out of 4K, and that was one of the only 1v4, sorry, 4K, and it was one of the only signs of life of this roster. What has happened? Who are these people?
It's like someone whispered in their ear that, hey, you know, the single elimination. They're like, yeah, you can't play Heretics this time. They're like, oh, I'm in. All right, well, I'm back in the server again. It's very peculiar. It's like it took them to the brink of death to finally realize who they are, the trophy that they have in their cabinet back home, and where they need to be. It has been 7 rounds in a row now. Mates have, I don't even think they've got close to a lot of these rounds. This has just been Na'Vi running riot. And well, every single player is on the board as well. Like this is something that you go back to any of the last 4, scratch 5 games, and this has not been the case at all.
Now, we often talk about A or B aggression early, but this time I want to look at the lands between. Take a look at mid. Early push from Kadavra. They use the player to tank further back to take that space to cover the mid push, and Kata TP's in. Spike right in front of him. It's there. Whoa, you've been done, Tom. But it's right there, right in front of him. And a chance now to lock this down. The flash, though. They're ready for it, and the punish. Navi reading what could have been a massive trap play. And instead, the punish is there, Mates.
Maybe it was
one
a
man.
plan. They put the spike there to trip.
Ah, yeah. It's like bait. You put cheese out for a mouse.
See, what you didn't realize
you
is
put a
in
spike
the
out
pause,
for
he actually went,
Kadavra.
and that's how he calls that one.
God's sake.
Artist. Another kill on the board. Oh, okay. I was going to say it's been individual peaks, but that one's worked out. Payas gets a double, has support this time, but the spike has been retrieved. They don't really need to beat this. They definitely don't now. Sugetsu, he's going to be the bodyguard, and he's going to defend, leaving just one man standing. It looked like for a second Mates were going to be back, but Sugetsu, he's the one to respond.
I feel like I'm watching the last fight in a season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there were so many trap cards put down by Mates there, and just as they flip them over, it looks like the game is won.
I see, it was a plan. I told you. Now, the question is, if you cut to the previous round and he goes, ooh, all I'm going to say is, I'm the Oracle.
You've been rubbing that head of yours, haven't you, Tom? You're getting visions again.
Someone has to. All they really need is that combo breaker, that map, that win. He says it's not about confidence, it's not about their practices. They just need to get over the line. And while 2 rounds away from doing it on their opponent's map choice, Ascent up next is a map I'm sure they'll still be very happy to play in well. There's definitely no lack of confidence on Zipper. Look at where he is. He's literally in the site. There are 4 players looking to surround this. The rest of Na'Vi are not even on this side of the map. They are slowly making their way all the way over towards that A site. Now, there is still a player here, and in fact, it does seem like Gentlemates have realized, but he's looked away! He's looked away at the wrong moment, and that's going to be the site completely open.
Oh, man, and in the chaos, players in B main, players pushed up A, they've lost sight of one spot on the map. Look at where Artis has nestled his way into. It might not be needed, though, that position. Instead, traded out for this fight. It's Angel and Sugetsu. One man might have fallen, but Angel's still up close. Kata does his best to root him out of spot. Okay, a chance perhaps. Still, the number's not with them, but the info certainly is. The neural theft, giving it all over to Whalers and Kadavra. Have to try to take these fights, though. The time ticking down. A flash popped, and a swing is good. 3 kills for Kata. He needs the ace to get this one across the line, and it's a big round for Gentlemates. A much-needed win. A swing on the back. Zipban's avoided him, but caught the bullet to the head. Now up close, the time, the major factor, and he's tried to fake it. The fact that Artis doesn't go straight forward, he might have won it already, and the shot confirms it. 12-7. Now 5 chances to put their first map win of the season on the board to break a massive, a monumental loss streak for this squad. This could be the combo breaker that puts Navi back on the map.
I love the way that Artis plays that at the end. You might be thinking like, oh, he doesn't have his gun out, but he's literally lining up a fragment, so there is just no time. Like, there was nothing Kata could do from that point onwards because he held that piece of utility. And yeah, Kadavra does an incredible job to make that one competitive. But now a 7-round attack streak, 9 in total. The economy of Mates is not the best. Ultimate's not there either. They used a lot of them, but that's a big start. Zipan has been a menace in the last few, well, the last 7 rounds, maybe last 9 rounds. So him being gone early, maybe that can be the turning point. And it needs to be. They need 5 in a row of their own.
Well, again, this isn't just about Gentlemates edging out a victory. It has to be clear. It has to be concise, because from this point forward, they need to do it 4 more times. They picked off Zipan to start this round. It is a good start indeed. A passive play on B, almost allowing NAVI to get in and put that plant in play. Sometimes you'll see this when there's rolling thunders, even maybe a Hunter's Fury to deny plant and try to fight on the back of the ult. They don't have that on mates. The only ultimate there is for Takas, and I'm not sure that's going to help a ton. Paranoia used already by NAVI. Some utility expanded in the fight. Trying to isolate Sugetsu, but he falls back with the pressure, ends up taking a duel on mid, and now they can reset 4 versus 4. Strong post plant on B. It's very hard to deny, and a late flank always in the back of your mind with Sugetsu lurking around.
He's gone all the way. And also he's getting the positions of all of these players. They're going to have absolutely no clue. Beya's already gone. Taka still hasn't turned. The tank is trying to defend, but the fact is they're so focused on just trying to clear that man out, and in the meantime they're getting picked apart. It's left on to Whalers. His time to try and ace it. It will not be the case. 10 rounds in a row for Na'Vi, and a 10. Phoenix is crazy out of the box, but that's where I always thought the mates played some of their best. Like I loved when they were running like a Yoru Raze on Sunset and stuff like that. Like it was a little bit crazy, but it was a little bit of Gentlemates, whereas right now this feels like a little bit dull.
Well, we heard it from a former coach. One of the best teams when it comes to Ascent. The best, I think, was the exact verbiage. And
tooting his own horn.
Yeah, a little bit. I would have loved
This is his cough.
We used to be the best back in the day. Not sure about now.
Back, I would say maybe like a few weeks ago.
Well, I wonder if he's giving a little chef's kiss. Certainly cooked this one up nicely. Attack side, B side, already locked down. And playing the post plant. This is where we critiqued NAVI on the previous map, but, well, I think we'll see a different face. Or rather, critiqued them on the previous map about previous games,
yes.
Not about the one we just saw. Here, though, as well, I don't expect to see many problems. Pistols in play, though. You never know. For mates, they'll come out swinging. The tank, Beyaz, and Kata. 3 big players on the way through. Shock Dart, it's good. A little bit of damage onto Angel. That's a headshot onto Angel. Almost took down Xiao as well. Now, with Zipan gone, everyone's low. This should be an easy close. Big shots needed by NAVI to stay alive. Just one connected to the body will do it. For each with 4 HP left. It was so close. And the time all the way down. It is done for NAVI. 1-0. The pistol round post plant. Perfect.
Yeah, a Red Bull clutch to close it, and it's the spike that does the damage, but perfect. Yeah, I just think it's the amount of time. Like, they were a little bit unlucky on the mate side that those shock darts almost killed Xiao. Like, I think he was on like 5 HP, and he still manages to get 2 kills. Like, that is Xiao. This is the guy that we talk about, and even when you go back to their last game on this map where they lost to GX, he was fragging. Like, this was a game where he was incredibly good, and they still lost. He was back on the Omen. But now, this is his comfort choice, and that's the thing. Xiao, I don't think, has been anywhere near as inconsistent as everyone else. And he's been playing a role that he's good at, but it's not his best. This Fade is, for me, I think his best role. Okay. I think this is where, if he's going to have one of those crazy Xiao performances, it will be here. That, though, is a great start for Takas. He's managed to find one initially with an aggressive peek out A main. And considering he has, well, other than the Ghost, the only investment in this round, anything more he can do would be fantastic.
Yeah, very valuable opening pick. It was the dash used after he got aggressive in A main. Immediately he's back on A. No chance for a trade, even if there was someone close by. Now it becomes a little tough for NAVI. You can't go down to the numbers and the trades. They've got to come ahead in these fights. And the Outlaw will certainly help. One shot onto any of these players on the defensive side, and they will go down. Nice skin also. Respect and Sugetsu. Drone's going to be destroyed, but the reveal could be dangerous. Luckily, he's behind a wall. And the Classics, not known for their high penetration.
No. Well, this is the thing. Any extra kills for mates is a rebought gun or a gun that's not going to be in the next round. The only thing that they have to, well, hope doesn't happen is from here on out, it's flawless for Na'Vi. Winning it, it's not going to be easy. Like, they just don't have the weaponry for that. And the time that they're already taking will put them in a pretty similar scenario to the last round. Sugetsu honed in, but it's going to be shut out just going to wait within. Already looking for that reveal, but there hasn't been anything connected off of it. All the players sort of locked into the site. The first one goes the way of Ardis. He's isolated. He's going to go down. They seem to have an idea that Sugetsu's here, but the rest of the players now drop. Even still, that's going to be an extra gun, and potentially he could even remove the remainder. They've got to exit this site. They've got to get past Kadabra, who's just waiting on the corner. First his way. Can he get anything more? I think the Spike's going to do it for him. That is a great round for Gentlemates.
Yeah, you think back to the last map, it was Mates going lights out in round number 2, saving most of their guns over. It put them in a decent position even after their opponents start winning rounds. For NAVI, that's not the case. This is a huge blow to them, and it means either they invest everything and this upcoming round will be the one that matters, that they need to win, or they play a very weak third round and a chance for Mates to walk right back into the map. Looks like the decision.
Keep up.
A few seconds left before barriers go up. It's the extra cash on Angel invested into a hero rifle, and the rest of the squad playing the eco. So not a lot of chances for Navi to do damage in this round. Certainly not an even fight, although Angel's won his first.
You have to assume this gun is immediately going to be juggled off to somebody else, although it has not been. As I said, you'd have to assume.
They all have shields. Give it to anyone.
The assumption is...
Really anyone.
No?
All right. Well,
Papa's got the Vandal. Papa's keeping the Vandal.
he turned back. I was like, no, Tom, look, he's... Nope.
Oh, there we go.
Hey!
We got there in the end. We got there in the end. It's going to go into the hands of Ardis, but the thing is, the buy for the rest of the players is still good. The read, though, is not the best. Now, bear in mind, Kadabra does have himself from the shadows to take himself back over to the other side of the map, which has just happened.
It's being used up. Bayaz will be laying down cover and fire, but a lot of players already close, and let me tell you, this isn't where the Odin thrives. They can't do a damn thing, stuck in position. HP is at least recovered with a flash on the back of the cage is perfect. Paranoia, though, that slows them down, and the spams actually are a bit dangerous. They'll push in to try and deter any further kills, and, well, they've done that. Zipan and Sugetsu both picking them up, B site secured, weapons to be retrieved, and traps even covering the way back in. It looks like Mates are on the way out. They're leaving it, A site for the save, while Navi have managed to pull off an impressive third round. They had so many disadvantages at the start of the round, and they leave it with a lot of free weapons.
Yeah, I think solid utility. Like, the C's held both players stuck at the back of the site after the TP. You then had, I think, a solid pot flash. It meant that even though the Paranoia saved them, they couldn't actually capitalize off the back of it. And then it's just a numbers game. If 5 players go running at 2 players at the back of the site, even if you trade evenly, or even if you lose an extra man, it's still mass upgrades when they had such weak weaponry. That was 1 rifle and 4 pistols, and Navi have come out with 4 players on 4 guns. That is a huge third round for them, and it basically undoes all of the success of the previous round for Mates.
Yeah, cancels it out completely. They had to find the reward early. I like the replay. Has him given the weapon over. It was a pivotal part of the round.
It was huge.
And for 3-0, a great start for Navi. Mates, well, they had the same thing on their map pick. It was swept out from under them. The Navi hitting form on a map like Ascent. It might be tougher to do here. Mates have a lot of weaknesses, and they're going to try to make up for that by going aggressive, getting an early fight inside of main, and, well, it works out. The Shock Dart trades Ardis, and that's from the grave for Bayaz, a Martyrdom Shock Dart. There's still a lot of weaknesses for the remaining players. 2 rifles, though.
Well, Xiao got himself a free Odin in the last round. He's going to try and put that to good use. It's double up of rifles in Pizza is definitely a bit of a gamble. A knife goes through, could give them up. Any utility placed there, and they'd be screwed, but it's more just a surprise factor. And while Angel was definitely surprised, the rest of the team are going to try and just quickly make their move in. Bear in mind, this is still a weaker purchase. Taka's not revealed. Pop flash, they're going to try and play off it, moving as a unit, and it's going perfectly for Gentlemates. And they know where Zipan is. He's been spotted. Even has a player coming in from behind him, completely surrounded. I don't think they're going to give this one up at all. They're just waiting for Kadabra to come in from behind and even just swinging off the contact. Really nice pay save card thrifty coming out of Gentlemates.
Back on the board, finding success. 2 rifles and pistols, but they make it work. NAVI, gotta feel pretty tough about that one. Artis tried his best. They even had the counter spams coming through, but they weren't expecting that level of aggression on main and then coming out of the smoke. It's never a pretty way to have a site take go when so many players tucked in on mates, not blinded up by any flashes, any utility that came out, just striking as soon as the first contact is made. Now NAVI look for a more direct approach to the A site. Late lurk maybe from Sugetsu. Two players pushed up on main, space taken. Angel is running it down. He's already in line. He's crossed his site, trying to spam out heaven. He's not.
Don't you dare.
Okay. He is.
He is.
He's straight in. This man is now the entry of the team. In fact, the team is not with him. They're still pushing as if it's a normal take, but there's a man behind enemy lines. For now, there'll be no contact, but the spike is left behind, Tom.
Yep.
I really don't think that the idea is to full commit, and it seems like mates are getting that read as well.
But the funny thing is, if Angel got one kill, he could have TP'd back, got it, and planted, but unfortunately he is not. I also like how you said, is now the entry fragger. As if he ever wasn't. Sugetsu's lurk is going to help them out massively.
I know
It's kept two players on the other side, and they're also going to get all of the information of where the remainder are. Know they're safe to plant. Zipan also is going to get his ultimate online from the plant, and they have a late lurk coming in from Sugetsu as well.
Yeah, he was left outside B for the entire round, just sat waiting for his moment, and it will be coming up a little later. Artis might have to back off. Presumed there'd be a flash. It was dry peek, and the timing caught him off as well. Xiao backing off, creating a bit more space. Honk goes through. That's the last piece of utility. Actually on the other side, right? Zipan's popped his ult. He's canceling out anything from mates, slowing down their push, allowing time for Sugetsu to finish that flank, to find the value. Although they're already dropping into the site, looking for the duel. Zipan is eagerly awaiting them, but Sugetsu's left alone. And the time seems to already be too far gone. Big swing that he's denied of, but even still, it's not close enough. Red Bull clutch for NAVI in the second round that goes the way of the spike.
Oh yeah, half of their rounds right now from the spike going off and just mates taking a little bit too long in these rotations. Yeah, sure, there's some utility that's denied them along the way, but it did seem like it took an awful long time for them to sort of group up and get back into position. And even though they're winning all of these fights relatively quick, if I'm being honest, it just nobody gets on that spike. Nobody's prepared to sort of sacrifice to get that spike to half, and well, that ends up being the problem. 4-1 now. Navi's economy still good enough for them to get onto the board for another round. They're already going to start farming up those ults again.
Yeah, same sort of presence that was shown last round. Remember, you got to be on guard after one Prowler goes through, because it could mean Angel's seconds away from teleporting onto the A site. So for mates, they take site control. They sit down, they wait, cam up, spotting all the crosses, making sure no one's up short, ton of information on that side of the map. And they have a lot of info in A as well. Look at the push-up. That's Crossfire, the tank, and Takas. And it's Takas to take first contact. He'll fire off the op. Not even activate the dash. It's not needed, it's not used. Oh, the shot missed, and they caught in the tank. Couldn't even be intentional. Just a nice pre-fire as they rounded the corner. NAVI takes some damage, but no losses just yet. Those shots desperately close to eliminating Takas.
Oh, Manuel! This goes back for a second bite of the cherry. And while his opposing Jet is lost. Again, we've seen this already. Close rounds for the side of mates, lost by a margin of seconds. Ones where we talk about, the damage they're gonna do, and then the next round is almost squeaky clean from Navi. The response immediate. And it seems just off fine margins, maybe even slight miscommunication with Takas falling back much quicker than his teammate. And Sugetsu, always that knife in the back. It's something they're gonna be wary of, and with the trip still available, wow, they definitely know where he is now.
It's impressive, man. NAVI with their back against the wall. They just wield those disadvantages, wield that pressure like a blade and cut through whoever's in their way. Playoffs still within sights. With each passing round, closer and closer to being within their grasp.
But did Bayaz swing? Bayaz had an operator. They've just lost the operator in the last second of the round. I think he must have peeked into Artis, but for the life of me, I can't work out why. Like, Artis was...
Oh, man.
That's just silly. I understand you've got an operator, but That's just silly.
I mean, what's the benefit? You kill Artis. Okay, they have one less weapon. Firstly, he has Bladestorm. Secondly, they have money.
They had 4 players.
And you know what you don't have? Money. So that's silly.
Yeah.
That's a silly little mistake, and one that will haunt him in this round as he's now forced to use a much less impactful weapon.
Also, it would have been, the operator would have gone to Takas.
Yeah, Takas is fuming.
Oh. Maybe they're going to win this round anyway. The fragment's going to put Takas in a horrible spot. The trade's not bad. They're doing damage. Whalers wants to continue. I don't know if he knows there's another player in this corner, but he's won the fight anyway. And both players now tag low. The spams not quite connecting. The tank has now retrieved a gun as well. This is one of the best opportunities we've seen in a while. For the side of mates, they know exactly where this guy is. And whoa, he runs out of bullets. It puts it down to the 1 versus 1. The tank is going to be waiting, and he wins that battle. Maybe that punish wasn't there after all, as somehow this is the round the mates win.
Takas really has to be fuming as well. They might have won the round, but second time in a row, he's been spammed through a smoke by Artis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to start to grind his gears. 1 and 6. But for mates, 2 rounds on the board, locked in by what is, I'll say, an unusual victory. Even after losing, winning the opening fight, technically, but then seconds later, the advantages swing back in the other direction. Great work done by Whalers.
Yeah.
And if he had a few more bullets, he might have closed it out himself, but luckily he had the tank to back him up. There's still lots of space to grow in this half, many more rounds to play for. Navi, much slower. Look how spread out they are. They want to fight for middle control, and again, the lands between the sites will be where the battle goes down. The tank and Kata already pushed up close. We'll see how this develops over the round.
Yeah, you look back at NAVI victories on this map. Back at Split 1, you're talking about 9 rounds twice on attack, 7 rounds versus BBO on attack. So this is normally where they thrive. Even in the defeat to Foot, they had 7 rounds on their attack side, and it was more of the surprise of GX, where they had a very poor attack, a rarity, and I think that's why they've switched back to having Shao on that initiator. Here, though, the economy's on the brink. Like, you see this round go the way of mates, and you could be looking at a 5-4 scoreline before there's even another response. Takas seems like he's going to be the one under pressure, waiting with the operator. Shot not connected, and he needs to get out.
Yeah, it's time to just fall back and reset. Other teammates way too far away as well. Could be an overpeak. For a second, I thought Artis would jump up, but he's tucked much further back. Navi have the time now. Spinning towards them. Door's going to be broken open. Post plant. It's a very late lurk attempt if Sagetsu's going for it. I'm not sure that he even will. Just covering his back. What a spam. Takas was seen and taken down. Shao looking to do a little bit more. Down below as they fall, he's the one to swing to keep the boxed in from back of Jenny. They try to trade it out. Shao's down to just a classic, not much damage to be done. There's the late lurk from Sagetsu, but it might be too late. Angel has to try to take them off that spike. It's already halfway. Good damage, but the spams need to come in now! And he's got it across the line! Bayaz with a Red Bull clutch. The numbers were against them, but they make it work.
Yeah, I think just being able to isolate Shao was enough. Like, that was where just the angles just weren't quite there. As you said, Sugetsu just a little bit too far behind. And this time, well,
I'll find you.
Finally going to see, yeah, this was just nasty. Like, that was just a Shao setup. Again, this is why we want to see him on that initiator, but then being able to deal with him a little bit later in the round, the sacrifice of Natung for the team. Well, we already know he's about it. Artis, well, with a weapon you wouldn't be expecting to see, but it's more so the fact that he has the Bladestorm to play with.
This play a bit more pointed from Navi. Short fight about to go down. It's Cadaver to fall, but Whalers is still here and holding strong. They filled in the space on mid. Sure, there's 2 kills, but a third player there as well. Navi clean it all up, but Whalers is still putting up a fight. 3 kills to his name, and an ace needed to close this round out. The spike is down in front of him. That's the advantage he's playing with. And Traps on the A site. It seems he's going to make the cerebral play, make the rotate ahead of time. If they go towards the A site, there's Traps. He'll have the information, even has a cam as well. He's going to stick around. You know, if you're on the attack, there's a good chance you think he's fallen back and played the B site, having the info on A.
Camera taken out.
Wonder if they'll be caught off guard by this position.
The thing is, the cam may almost give it away. The fact they've been picked up They know he's not in main. They haven't taken out that pin yet, so Zipan is still being given up. There's only one angle that they haven't checked, and now he's shot the bullets. They're going to try and fight this one together. Good decision by NAVI, and a nice attempt from Whalers. It would have had to be the ace to close out that round. I also want to say that I don't know if you saw what Angel did in that round. He TPs through his own smoke there. You see it, and then gets 2 kills. It's just, it's madness. Like, I think it was, yeah, this one just coming out of the smoke. I think actually Sugetsu got the kill, but it is just craziness from the IGL to try and support the rest. And unfortunately, when you have one player alive from a, well, basically a ninja defuse, unfortunately that wrecks your economy. So mates, as said, they could have got back to an even scoreline, but instead, they're now that little bit further behind.
Mates might secretly be Fnatic fans. They used to be Summon FC, the Bucky FC came after that, and they've gone for 2 of their own. The Tank and Whalers rocking these shotguns. They're not easy to use, certainly not the most popular weapon in the league, but oh, they're still dangerous. And the Tank is showing, well, he's showing how dangerous it is up close, and well, on long range, you don't really have to fear it. Getsu does well, cleaning up Bea's information now. About to be there, but the shot from Takas, the Blade Storm still lurking as a threat, and they're going towards it. Both players fighting for this control. They tried to isolate the man on the back, but it's Takas they need to be worried about. He's got another, the rifle out to clean house. 4 kills for Takas and 4 rounds for Gentlemates.
That's another pay safeguard, Thrifty. This game has not gone the way that, in most of the cases that it should, it seems. A couple of rounds where the Spike has won it. This time it's the individual presence of Bucky and the Blade Storm of Takas with a little bit of help from his friends, but that's such a big round for them to win, and Navi are going to take a pause of their own. I think realizing that some of the...
If you look at a lot of those fights, even the last 2 coming out of the smoke towards the site, it allows for Takas to just fire the blades into the smoke, and he's getting all 5 off before anyone's even thinking about coming out. It's slow, it's respectful, and I think it wasn't what was needed in a round like that.
Cadavra's definitely been seen. Could be forced to retreat now. The expectation was that this was going to be a B hit. You can see they've got the Cypher set up, majority of players there. It's just going to have to be a retake on this one. The afterplant, it's not something you really want to allow NAVI to have, especially bear in mind, they may not have the weaponry on every single player, but they do have themselves the Nightfall. Immediate response. They're going to try and get in nice and fast, but already that Nightfall's been used. And a trade to start things off, and the Tank's done well. And in fact, Whalers has come up with another. It's only going to be left onto one artist with not the gun you'd want in this scenario, and he's going to get cleaned up as well. Much pacier, much more punctual from the side of Gentlemates. And now they're within just 1.
Oh yeah, they're catching that team off guard, right back into the fray. Ult pushing players, like once Nightfall comes in, they're all running underneath, trying to take cover. And the best part about it is you've got Beaz just raining down hellfire from above, a shower of lead on those players below. And well, it wasn't even needed until the last second when it amounts to suppressing fire. They had so many
mysteries as well. Like that Nightfall from Xiao goes towards short, because that's when they've been retaking from the most of the time. Every single player in that moment immediately runs straight out heaven. I don't think the Nightfall hit anybody on Gentlemates, and if it did, the player it hit was irrelevant to the round.
Yeah, it plays as a point of contact. They've used that. They're going to fight for control. Let's bring the fight to them. And the fact that so many of Navi's players are just stuck underneath it, it's a tough angle to fight back out from. Mates, hot on their heels, 1 round behind at this point and looking to equalize at the half. It's Takas with an aggressive push-up. He's being spotted by the Prowler, and the dash is used, but there's no safe space. Navi have already filtered out onto the site. They've taken control in main. Good flash. He's blinded. Gets away with a bit more than I expected. Beaz shutting down Angel as well. Getting a free kill onto the laneway, and Navi stalled with low HP on Zipan. There's no easy solution to this round.
Yeah, Cadavra's teleported into support as well. So what would have been a 1-man defense, Beaz now has support. And already Sugetsu, he was trying to make a play out, but losing that fight, not going to help them. Beaz, there's no way you're going to get past an Odin with 5 HP. You'd need an absolute miracle. And speaking of miracles, that's what we need from Ardis. Not going to be the case. Just like in the last map, an early start for one team and a resurgence. But this time, Mate are on the other side of it.
Well, we almost warned about this early on. We saw NAVI steam into the lead, but similar as well to the first map. It just felt like they were a different beast. They were against a team that they were outmatching, and all of that changed. we start to see mates much more proactive in some of those later fights, in getting ahead of the retakes, or getting ahead of the post plants, not letting NAVI get into a decent position, execute off their utility, and mates with a real chance. The pistol round carrying some value for this squad. Whalers has been unbelievable. 14 and 7 at the moment on the Cypher, and a lot of big rounds from him, even in terms of just keeping that NAVI economy low like the almost ace he had. Now as we look at NAVI's defense, no idea of aggression, no early fights. They're spread out, just looking for the information, allowing mates to make the first move, and it looks like the attackers are very keen to do that. Lots of players on short. This camera's about to get some information. There's a Paranoia primed and ready for Angel afterwards, and that's where the swing from Sagetsu could do so much, but he's turned. He's moved back to put a smoke down, and that's when the push comes through. Paranoia actually catches quite a lot. The reaction is perfect. The reaction to peek out into the tank, not so much. That was a 5 versus 3 thrown away for over-aggression on short, and now the defenders are spread thin across a pretty big map.
Time is good for Zipan. Getting out of this might be difficult, but never mind. He's taken over and left it down to just Kadavra. A 1 versus 2. Something that could kickstart either side's second half. And he's going to try and just be patient here. The re-aggression could be punished. They're peeking this one together. He's won that first duel. Tagged low, even lower in fact. As another bullet will connect, but he's just going to try and retreat out of this one. Xiao unable to stop him. Or put this down into the 1 versus 1.
30 seconds
already. They're wary of the cross, wary of somebody peeking out from heaven. Just bear in mind that Xiao does have himself the haunt ready and available, but he might just look for the element of surprise. The door cannot be closed. In fact, that haunt is not going to connect, and Xiao, he's actually started running in the other direction. The plant being tapped, I don't know if he's going to hear it, he will, and that's the immediate run back.
Still a bit of space bought by Kata. I don't think he's heard any of those steps. It's the contact. Xiao's walking through. He's gone straight through the smoke. He's caught him perfectly back around Jenny. There's no way Kata expects him to be here already. An advanced position for Xiao, but he still doesn't know where Kata is. It's a game of cat and mouse, and we don't know who the mouse is just yet. With 28 HP, it could be Kata, but he's got him. The side angle. A rat on the site. And he packed quite a bite. 7-6. The lead is for mates.
Oh, such a huge round from him. Being able to escape from a corner that looked like an unstoppable position. Again, I think this early fight, like, NAVI themselves just getting a little bit ahead of things, and even then, Zipan saved the day with 2 kills in middle. But it wasn't quite as good as this clutch out from Kadavra, even trading that and then finishing things off with some perfect positioning. That will be mates now into the lead, and some sheriffs. All that's on the board for NAVI.
I think I can summarize the last round for NAVI. It's me with a bag of jellies, just one more. Just one more. Every time. They kept going out for more. Even Zipan, he takes 2, stands in the open with a flash because he thinks there's another player close. If you just fall back, you just wait it out, they had it. 5v3, 3v1. But each step of the way, they falter. They go back for another. That's a big mistake. Mates, as you said, they're not facing off against a very heavily armed militia, but NAVI have a lot of players in the right position. It seems to be at the right time. Just depends whether mates decide to go back. Remember, they've got players on the other side of the map. They've got some control, got the ability to rotate, and they'll do that now. But yeah, a weapon to be retrieved by NAVI, and perhaps even a chance for Angel up close. If the timing is everything, the shots landed by Whalers at least.
Well, NAVI, I guess, so nervous about retrieving that weapon that they've actually left it. Maybe just realizing that them having it is going to be more problematic. Nice work from the Tonk. What was a dangerous round now becomes what looks like a done deal. The danger seemingly gone. It will be a rifle that's dissipated, something that is going to be a little bit frustrating. I don't think they're going to have time to go and get that one back unless somebody leaves now, but I guess if Kadavra is just going to continue to kill everyone, maybe he'll be able to afford an extra one anyway.
2-round gap. Mates build the early lead. Like you said, NAVI, they drop that weapon. It's a little bit of cost. And there's 2 facets to it. They don't go for the rifle on one condition. There could be someone lurking there. You lose another player, and the round chances just completely fall apart. Better to group up and try to take the hit. But the other thing is, yeah, you're bringing back the rifle to them, and your teammates not likely to win their fights in 1-to-1. So at least that cost is passed forward to this round. But even still, Mate's economy is pretty healthy. On the side of NAVI, defensive aggression is going to be employed early. Angel on the choke point, and yes, he had support, but it didn't look like he needed it. Gorgeous play, and Gentlemates, they even invested into some more rifles. I think everybody had one coming into this round.
Yeah.
Now just a 5 versus 3 for their trouble.
Oh, Angel, he's gone back for a little more. I can't say I'm a huge fan. He's on 55 HP. He's playing an off angle. Timing's everything. It's going to give more of an individual peak. They're going to look to try and push off this. A passive position from Artis has done a lot of damage, but Angel might be about to fall. Another scenario, but they have a huge advantage. It's being brought back, but not for very long. Xiao, though, well, it's Natank in his ult, but the ult's not going to keep him alive, that's for sure. 12 HP. Again, it would have to be a mistake for him to manage to take this.
Oh, a big mistake. The only good thing is that NAVI are split, but with 35 seconds left, it's not like he's going to go rotate into B, and there's utility waiting from there if he does. All they need to do is wait for that plant, and the tank needs to use that.
Yeah, look at where Xiao is. He's gone so passive because he's like, okay, there's only one spot that he might push. Either he's going to go back to mid, or he's going to try and fight me, so I'm just going to sit as far away as humanly possible. And for the tank, there's even an argument here of, do I just try and hold on to the rifle? Do I just bring that into the next round to give me something? Instead, he's going to plant safe. And he's actually managed to get it down. As you said, both of these players isolated. The Haunt's going to give it away of the exact corner he's in and wants to get to. Is just waiting. But again, he's managed to cross. He's managed to take just that little bit of extra space. The individual fight almost granted, but they still haven't cleared him just yet. Eventually, it will be Doomsday as expected. But even still, maybe a little bit more costly than Navi would have liked.
Doomsday? He's not here anymore.
He's actually over there.
Yeah, that's true. It can be your day. You can be both the Doom Bros days. 8-7. Very nice stuff from NAVI, and I like this much more controlled face to them. The patience in that late play. Again, some of those previous rounds, looking back at the last map, Sunset as well, I think it was a lot of the problems. The reason that we saw Mates have so many rounds to start with. One more. I can just go out for that one more. Make the play. And now, well, they've certainly overcome that problem in the 2 versus 1. Coming into round 16, rifles for both teams. Bea's the only weakness for the squad. Ultimates not really stacked up for either team's favor, although I will say the neural thefts have been decent so far. I mean, given a lot of information, allowing for rotations. Although I remember the round they used it on Mates, and players were in mid hidden by smokes, and yet still Angel was able to find 2 kills.
But this is just a huge round for economy. Both teams are almost at 0. Natank, Kadavra a little bit above, and the same for Artis on the other side, alongside Sugetsu. Everyone else is as close to 0 as you can really get. It looks like the play once again is going to be try a hit into this A site. The spams have actually done a decent amount of damage, but Artis is going to be able to escape. Swung back though, and that's almost too easy a kill. Running through the cages, they're giving the fights. It's a whiff though. And Artis doesn't really need to fight this. He still wants to continue to play around the edge of the smoke, giving the fight over. It's a shaky one, but he's got Angel alongside him. The deadly duo. Whalers. He's been good. Not this good.
Okay, he's gonna get one more, but 17-9. That's all it amounts for, is KD. There's no way to get back through that door, take down these players, and stop the defuse all in time. NAVI have found the round win. They've equalized it up. And after Mates taking pistol and getting that little injection of rounds, I think the defensive side feels pretty good about where they're at. That was a big round for economy, like you said, Tom. For NAVI, it would have destroyed them. For Mates, it seems like they will get a second lease at life, although there will be a lot of weaknesses for the next. And they've even called a timeout here, seeing that this could be a turning point in the series.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be able to get rifles, maybe with the light shields for a few of the recent tweet. He has said he's not planning on doing. But that's something that we have to look at if Gentlemates can turn this around. If not, it's very simple. Navi through, both Liquid and Mates are done. I've been farming these orbs up. The last couple of rounds have just been Beaz picking up every single orb. There's clearly a real desire to get that Hunter's Fury. Of course, it's so good to sort of work alongside Takas, having that Hunter's Fury in combination with him dashing into the site. For the Na'Vi side, quite a bit of presence into mid. The combination of Xiao, hardest jump peeking, and now Angel there to join him. Looks like they want to challenge this one. Zipan's gone out as well. It's a 4-player mid push. They've seen nothing, and instead they're now going to be pressured on the other side.
That could be a chance for Whalers. The spot's going to be open on short with Sugetsu down. Manpower starting to dwindle for that Navi side. Only one player on short now, and even less in heaven. Angels drop. Zipan good for one. Cloudburst has covered him all for a moment, given the avenue for Takas to take him down. All the kills go in the way of mates, and, well, even if Artis found one more, Whalers was right behind him. There was no way out. 9 rounds on the board for mates, a much more direct round, and great success found just out of a main. And the fact that they have that little curveball of Whalers moving through mid, having it be, with mid having been cleared, what, 10 seconds before?
Yeah.
I don't think there was much Navi could do.
Well, that was the thing. I think this came down to mates almost just, firstly having the information, because Whalers will have heard everything, but also they've hit A that many times in a row. Like, I think that's 3, maybe even 4 times in a row now they've gone towards that A side. So it's almost just a ruse. It's like hedging the bet that Na'Vi won't stack that up again, left it onto Sugetsu. This round is a mixed bag buy. A Guardian, Angel with a rifle, and well, they've just spotted everyone within the smoke. It's not pretty. An even trade. Xiao hasn't been seen. He's lurking in the smoke, but it's still just going to be the 1-for-1. Still, though, with the weaponry that was put in, for Na'Vi, that's not too bad. This next fight could be absolutely everything. Beaz, I don't know if the trail has given him away. Sugetsu only with a pistol, and he doesn't win the battle.
Oh, but Angel might. He's got the perfect timing, and now he's got the spike.
Down B.
Smoke for main, knowing Beaz was there not long ago. Beaz no drone, although now's not the time to use it. Has the reveal and 2 shocks. Good utility to work off of. Needs to recover that spike and might even try to hightail it afterwards. Has the time to rotate, but getting out there is the problem. So many nasty angles Angel could be hiding inside of. 40 seconds on the clock. It still looks like he'll have time after he gets it, that he won't have to commit. And Angel is hedging his bets a little bit. He spotted the spike is still there. No need to play greedy. No need to over-aggress. And where is Beaz going to look as he makes his way out? I think he saw him. I think he caught an angle on Angel, and, well, Angel's now got the info, but at a heavy cost. He's tagged down to 48 HP. I think the barrel gave him away. The TP, does he cancel?
Does he cancel?
Oh, he commits it. And Beaz has made the perfect read.
It's basically the bait and switch, but Angel's got this one completely wrong. I better wish he had that TP once again, because it is going to be the plant. And the worst thing as well is already tagged, there's a Hunter's Fury available. Now, I don't know if Beaz would take the risk and use it here. It's probably not the time to try and attempt something risky. But at the same time, it's still going to be the battle of the brains. The IGLs, the leaders of the team, to level things up, or for mates to take a further lead. Beaz is just waiting on the angle, and he does not miss a beat. 10-8, lead extended. And mates a few rounds away from doing exactly the same that Na'Vi did to them and taking it to split.
Watching that round from Zipan's perspective was perplexing. The guy's running back and forth through a smoke with a Guardian, not able to hit anyone, understandably, considering the scenario. Look at that, there it is.
Just a pixel.
The crouch gave him away. Just a little too wide. Now he was, that's the disadvantage, right? You're further in Beaz's position. He's further away from the wall, so he can see that player a little easier than the guy who's right up next to it. Because your eyes are in the middle of your head, in this game, at least.
Now, bear in mind. Oh, that's a lot of information. I was going to say that was a weaker buy. That was a Blade Storm, a couple of rifles, and some pistols. A very fast-paced take. They're being caught by absolutely everything. That chip is still there, lads.
They've just give up on it.
It's too difficult. Can't do anything about it. Already, that Blade Storm's going to dissipate. It's a lot of damage, but damage to either side. A quick rotation from Xiao to support. They are going to be seemingly committing. Angel still at the back of the site. Paranoia available, but it's already been bypassed. Takas, even while on low HP, is going to win that battle.
And running. That was a crazy shot. Nice return by Zipan, but they need a little bit more. Lots of ultis there for Gentlemates. The plant coming in now. The tank can return the favor that Zipan had just a moment ago. The null command. Not even sure if they need it at this point though. Numbers advantage. Takas low. Beyaz with a Hunter's Fury. He's on site though. Won't be post-plant usage. Won't be to deny that diffuse. Instead, they'll be taking fights, scrapping together. This could be dangerous if Takas is the first one to fall. Numbers can equalize very quickly. Low HP on Beyaz, and he swings again. He is dropped, and now they know where the tank is. A good idea. There should be a player in main, and Whalers connecting the kill gives it away. But the info is hard to execute on with such low HP. It's 11 to 8. Gentlemates closer and closer to bringing us to split.
Yeah, they've found their footing. 3 rounds in a row. They managed 5 of the last 6. When it came to the previous half, they've been on a climb ever since. And from what was mostly just a Whalers performance has quickly turned into a team performance overall. For Xiao, it hasn't been the return to the agent that was so beloved in the past.
It seems like Gentlemates going back to winning ways. The formula before, a much more aggressive, fast-paced hit. The A site seems to be the target once again.
The hero rifle, not in the right place. Flash. It actually slowed them down a little bit. They are going to make their way into the site. Bear in mind that Hunter's Fury is still online. But they can opt to play the post-plant. That's exactly where Bears is sitting. This retake's not going to be easy. Now, there is a Nightfall available if Na'Vi want to throw it in, but bear in mind this is still a weaker purchase. It would be a risk.
Sure, we're going to see that with the push already coming through. We're definitely not. Up close, though, revealed. Takas down. Hunter's Fury doing some damage. Artis dodges it, and he's right back in the fight. 3 versus 2. Pressure on for Beyaz and Kadavra's stuck down below. He's already tagged Artis, and the correction is there. With Xiao on the floor, it's all onto Angel, but Kata doesn't stop. 12 to 8. Split in their sights and 4 chances to get there. Gentlemates, what a recovery.
Yeah, they are climbing back into this game. Split looking inevitable. I think after their early start on that first map and having things slipped away, it would have been easy to count them out of this match, count them out of the series, and more importantly, count them out of the year. They would have been done if this map hadn't gone their way, and now, just one of the next 4, they go to split, and they have a chance at survival.
Reveal's not going to catch Artis. He's safe for a moment. A lot of noise being heard in A main. This is where you expect to see that little bit of extra aggression. Maybe in B, deep reveals and so on. Mates have all the information thanks to a cam spotting mid push and a trap sat outside of B main. They know their flank is nicely secured for now. Might even send Whalers for late flank. Depends on the success as they make it to the site already. One wire going to be destroyed. Another around Jenny. Nice spray by Takas. Sagetsu, though, crept onto the site in the chaos. It's Angel up top, drawing the eye of his opponents. They might not be ready for someone to be so close, but Kata's caught him inside the smoke, looking for more, and it's done it again. 3 kills as Artis falls. It's only Xiao left. And mates, well, you can definitely tell. We said Navi backed into a corner, back against a wall. They look scary. They come out swinging. Seems like mates, seems like Kadavra doing just the same.
It's got Nightfall. It's got all 3. It's got all 3. That'll be the information, or at least I think it did.
It did, yeah, for sure.
But he's still looking in other directions. The player's currently at least that little bit lower, but he's got to try and wipe them all out, and it is not going to happen. This series will go. Probably through the most rounds I've ever seen in my life. Even one round with a blast pack, and it still was enough to win the series. So I'm hopeful that some of those errors will have been fixed, because, yeah, in the past, historically, it was a very good map for them, but this isn't in the past anymore. We can't keep looking at those games. In recent history, this map now should lean the way of Gentlemates, but we'll have to wait and see.
Lots of mid-walk to start it, and mates, not just one player. They've seen Whalers, but now the tank's here too, and plenty more to back them up. The tank falls. But so did the entirety of Gentlemates fall back, that is, towards heaven, towards the ropes, where Whalers is taking a risky jump spot, but he spotted the info and just backs on out. In the meantime, after seeing a few players on mid, Takas has decided to go walkabouts himself, and he has got a lot of space, an advanced bit of map control for this squad to work with. The only problem they have is where that Cypher utility is now. It's covering in for the main push, it's not really seeing anything towards heaven. The timing here will be everything for Sugetsu. There's no way he can suspect Takas to already be there, but in the meantime, Whalers has fallen. The problem is they're diving into the B site without the knowledge. There's no way for them to have it, but there's 2 players back site, and now Angel spotted at least one. Here comes the paranoia. He's in a lot of trouble with the fight up to heaven, slowing down any trade potential for Artis. And now he has all the pressure to plant that spike himself. Flash, but the smoke covers in the player, so Kadavra will not be punished. And the rotation of Takas is just now coming through right behind you. 1-0 for Gentlemates.
Oh, we've seen this team come back many a time. Think back to the way they made it into the league in the first place, playing a team that had defeated them earlier in the bracket, only to come through and 3-0 in that final. This team is built under pressure. And while that first round going their way could be the first nail in the coffin of Na'Vi, that's the thing. When we do talk about this map, or at least as successes, it's the attack side of Na'Vi is where they thrive. This is their better half. There's never been an argument of that. The thing is, though, for Mates, you're going to be in a similar boat. They're a team that the first time out on this attack side, when they were there, they were unstoppable. So getting off to a strong defensive half is going to be incredibly important.
Kinda could be in a bit of danger if they do waterfall out onto him. Oh, not onto him. He's now gone up top. Reveal, stun, but no follow-up on it. The pressure being applied from stairs slows them down. They split the retention and Xiao. Artis, everyone falling. It's all left onto Sugetsu, and he thought he had a little bit of space, but Whalers was quickly on him. 2-0 now for Mates in a clean second round.
Yeah, only the one player dropped. You're still going to have the majority of all weaponry brought through into this next round. It might mean that maybe Bayaz just goes for a pistol or something here, but ultimately, on this map in particular, you can definitely get away with it. And also, he's going to be playing a lot of the more supportive roles anyway, setting up stuns for players like Natung to make his move. We saw in this round, he basically kept Kata alive with the stun that he put through main. This will be where Na'Vi get their purchase, though. And this is where you hope, if you're a Na'Vi fan, they get themselves onto the board.
You would certainly hope so. A lot of space given towards middle as Na'Vi will take some control. Prowler was heard, and Mates have a choice. The rotation on this defensive side sees Bayaz move towards B, now up in heaven. 2 players on B. This is where Kadavra wants to get a bit more information around the one-way. He's pushed up in main. Try and keep that control. He might even have a battle. I see Angel moving towards him. There's a bit of a battle, yeah, indeed, going down. Kadavra off-screen drops Angel, but we're in-house with Takas, who has an opportunity coming his way, but the shot goes straight through the legs of Sugetsu. So Na'Vi still have a chance. The man disadvantage not extended on just yet.
He's got his TP. I don't know if that's where he meant that to go, though. That's stuck in a corner. Timings, everything. And actually, the tanks just come around the back. So tunnel visioned in on the other players, and they're still not paying attention to Takas. Finally, he's dropped, but it's too little too late. Sugetsu, 1 versus 3. TP across as well gives Kata another angle for them to play from. He needs an individual kill, and he's found it. That's the first kill under his belt. In fact, the second might just go his way as well, looking for a little more. But Bayaz, the backbone of the team, is there to keep them in that round and keep them in the lead.
Only barely. 3-0 though, locked in for the Mate side. And this, yeah, here's the battle. It was Kadavra just holding the angle. Angel goes in to clear it, maybe to put a Prowler, cause some problems. They lose that one man on the other side of the map, but the amount of space that Takas was able to occupy is ridiculous. Moving back and forth, even peeking while reloading at times, but they couldn't take this man down. He was a phantom, an enigma. And now, the 3-0 scoreline on the back of his prowess on the tank's early start, and Kadavra looking like his usual self. Seems like everything's firing for the Mate side, while Na'Vi, okay, well they've got at least one gun trained in.
I was gonna say, that's a heavy investment for Artis. He's down to 650 credits, so they really are putting a bit more into this round that you might expect. But that opening kill could and has garnered an extra weapon. You expect there to be a re-aggression, a replay, and well, already evening things back up. A further upgrade for Xiao. He's just slowly increasing the power of the weaponry that he has. And now it leaves the defense incredibly split.
Attackers are in a similar boat. I mean, look at where Sugetsu is. Over on the A site while noise is being made on B. 2 players up in heaven, at least that's what they're trying to convey to Gentlemates. NAVI, though, have no intention of moving towards the B site. You see them start to back off. The rifle's fully retrieved. Phantom for Angel. The Guardian for
30
Shao
seconds
still.
left.
That's a lot for this squad to play around. I think why they went for that heaven control. But pump faked it. They make it look like it's B, slow it down, go back the other direction. Viper wall's going up as well, and then they make their move. But yeah, Cadaver has heard them. He's got the information. And if he can find a kill or 2 on the cross, it could be everything. But no, the spike will safely make it to the site. They have lost their heaven control.
Oh, aftershock. It's going to be awkward. Xiao does get tagged up, and now both players stuck in the corner. They're going to use the smoke to get themselves out of there. Beaz, though, has done so much damage in this round already and now has Wailers to support him. Xiao yet to get on the board in the fragging department. Angel has a couple already. But already that smoke is going to dissipate. They're going to reapply, put the doubt in the mind of their opponents as they do look to wrap around. The steps have been heard. Angel watching Xiao's first kill. Needs to be the trade as Beaz close to getting an ace. But close doesn't win you anything. Is the round going the way of NAVI?
That's another one of those where I think for NAVI, they show us their patience. They slow down the play. Initial aggression, perfect for Artis, and I love that investment, especially on your breach, spending that cash. Next round, he takes a pistol, but he's not going to be first, second, or even third man in a lot of the time. So, someone falls, you pick up the weapon, you keep on going. Just invest in the utility, play the support.
I will fight.
As a result of that round, Viper's Pit is online for Sugetsu. After he died up in heaven, he got that orb, a Rolling Thunder, and a Showstopper. These last map ultimates were here and there. Not many massive ultis. This one, though, there's going to be a lot of punches to be packed.
I will say, Takas's 4K eco with a Blade Storm might disagree with you a little bit.
True. I'm just thinking, out of 10 players, right? You know, everyone has good ults. Our Cypher.
Timing is going to be everything. The tank Showstopper might be able to catch them trapped, and in fact, there's a stun. It is going to be a trade kill, but even still, that's a huge start. Good supportive util to make sure they couldn't get out of there. And now there needs to be a response, and you can see Artis is the one hunting for it. He's the man closest to the spike. Sugetsu's going to try and take some space up above. He knows where the cam's going to be because that's exactly where he would probably put it. And now though, NAVI once again taking their time, slowly making their way back to the A side. But after all the kerfuffle in the vent, there's still a trip.
30 seconds left.
Oh, there's the signal. The beacons have been lit. Mates know that the push is coming in on A, and the rotation somewhat cautiously comes in. The Rolling Thunder is there, so they've got a lot to back them up. Smoked out. It's going to be Kata walking straight through it, looking for fights, but Wailers has already cleaned them up. The support came in, but most certainly was not needed. And now, all that's left is for Sugetsu to save this. I don't think he's going for the plant with time now out. The question is he going to get away with it? Takas is on his way. He's going to swing the angle. He spotted him, in fact, and now look, the rest of the squad picks up the pace, runs it down, and takes the weapon from his hands. 4-1 from Gentlemates, and this is a big blow to the NAVI economy.
Yeah, I'll be honest, from the get-go in that round, it looked like Mates were in control. The initial combination with the stun Showstopper, perfect, even with the tank dying. Then they hold the Rolling Thunder all the way until the last 20 seconds. So it's just panic stations from the side of NAVI. And Wailers is very quick to capitalize. Drops the spike, makes sure the round's basically over, and then finishes off the remaining player as well. A great round from the side of Mates. And, well, the problems we were talking about from NAVI until they won that low-buy round are right back with us again.
Kata almost gets tapped down. Look at the position from Sugetsu. It's being watched. But the timing in the round is everything. There's a player on the left, seen for free, but he was spotted. The tank's quick to drop him. Great paranoia from Cadaver. There's one player up close, though, catches him off guard. Shout as well to find a kill, equalizing the numbers, picking up a weapon. in the process. Angel committing the ult to the back. Takas is only going to be forced back by it. It buys a few seconds at most. Oh, the tank's already in! He's running it down. The blast packs get him through. Angel caught off guard, but still lands the shot. Cancel on the ult, but they know that Xiao is up close. The problem is getting him out of this position. Never mind, it looks easy, but Angel's still to be dealt with. He's going for it, but it's Whalers on the other side. The consistency there, mates now 5-1. NAVI, they're starting to stall out.
The crazy thing is NAVI right now are looking better when they have hero rifles. That was one rifle and pistols, and they almost managed to win the round. The round that they do have on the board was an investment into, I think, 2 Guardians, and it was just a solid early kill from them. Again, it's just, well, an aggressive play, but Whalers has been the one to sort of step up, and NAVI, well, we've already seen this in the first map. They go 5-1 down, they turn the half,
everyone's showing up. Takas is on the bottom of the board. You don't see that very often.
And even he's been getting them so much information and space in a lot of these rounds. Ultimates firmly in favor of NAVI. And they might just try and contact off this one, but so will, well, the man you mentioned. Takas with an immediate opener. Hey, you want to use a showstopper? Well, it's gone within the first 5 seconds of the round. NAVI are not stopping though. They want to try and fight this. Push up versus that deadly duo. Well, they're called a deadly duo for a reason. The trades, though, do come in thick and fast. The advantage that mates garnered is quickly disassembled. And now we find ourselves in a 3v3. Now, bear in mind, a plant here. You've got a Viper's Pit available. And for NAVI, they've just stalled. The thing is, this has allowed for the Gentlemates players to get into position.
They're going back up to heaven. No flashes this time. That's what got them all the success last time, but they've isolated Bayaz. The timing there couldn't have been worse for mates. I don't know if they saw Whalers. I think he might have been around the corner. Gives him an opportunity, and indeed, the surprise factor catches Xiao. The other 2 players around here, that's why Cadaver's on the lurk. He had mid-control. He was waiting for them to go back towards B so he could cut them off. Instead, he's going to be first man on scene. And Whalers is gone. He's out of here. He's converting back to go towards screens, but it's not going to make much of a difference with the pit down.
Yeah, it's a lot of space for them to play around, though. They're playing a guessing game. Cadaver's already going to be able to hold on to the complete back of the site, and there's no problems to exit, but he takes a risk, tries to do it on his own, and that risk hasn't paid off. It's on Whalers again. In these clutch scenarios, this guy has been fantastic. The money's there for him. He can try and take this risk. He can go for it. He's already going to find the one, tries to tap, but he doesn't get anything more. Sugetsu, even playing outside of the pit at this point, knowing his opponent will be low, just waiting on that timer, making sure that he can't be caught, just dancing around the edge. Doesn't need the kill and will even find it at the end. A big round from him, but even still, it's a desperately close one.
Oh, it is. It's down to the wire and comes off the back of I guess the Viper's Pit, locking them in that 2v2, but a couple of kills. This is the disappointing part for me. Angel's running it down. Here we see what I think the correct reaction was. A pop flash coming in from your breach, from Artis, and then the swing. They knew there's players in heaven, and it feels like at moments, you see some of these NAVI players get so zoned in to taking their fight, to taking their duel, that the rest of the pieces of the puzzle aren't there to support them. Angel went down, but they traded it out.
This was the plan from the last round. We've got ourselves a showstopper. Let's go into the site with it. Rolling Thunder as well. Takas has immediately cleared out half of the map with that dimensional drip, but I think at this stage it's pretty well telegraphed where NAVI are.
Yeah, but the thing is, you said go into the site with the showstopper, and they have, but it's still in their back pocket. Still available for Zipan to use as a counter. The tank on his way through. There's the rocket, but it doesn't land. The tank is at least dropped, and nobody else made it out of heaven thanks to the utility in play. Rolling Thunder committed here as well. A kill went the other way. So of course NAVI start to panic. They throw in another ultimate that might just lock it down. Definitely delays some time, puts pressure on players to get in there, start to open this up, and Kata does damn well through a smoke, trading out his teammate Whalers. Problem is at this point, time and the positions of the players unknown. You don't know if they have post-plant utility. With a Viper and a Breach still alive, they could easily push you off that spike when it comes down to the last few seconds, so they are out of here. Mates saving those weapons through to the next. NAVI secure themselves a third.
Yeah, it came at the price of some ultimates, but I don't think NAVI are going to mind too much. An important one at that, and it puts a bit of a tough position now for Gentlemates. They've got a showstopper to play with, so let's not pretend like this round is signed, sealed, and delivered. Especially with the last showstopper being a beautiful set play for the side of Gentlemates. For NAVI though, we said it. First map, they went 5-1 down. In case you weren't here for that, if you look at the top left of your screen, they won it 13-7. However, since then, since that second map, Gentlemates have looked like a different beast.
Yeah, they've woken up, that's for sure. The Ascent first half was slow. There was no stopping them. 5-3 though. NAVI were in a rough position, now starting to recover, finding their footing. And like you said, Tom, there's weaknesses here, but the showstopper could be what turns it. The stun showstopper last time was absolutely perfect. This, you know, you talked about classic NAVI vintage. Angel used to be on an Omen, and he'd be in
It
vents.
used to be on any agent.
That's true. But here on this map, we would see him round and round again in this position. This was his position. If you played against him, you better clear it every single time. But it's been a while since those days. They've walked into him, but it's Takas checking the corner, thankfully. He wasn't the first man, but he was the first to look.
The thing is, there's been moments in this round for either side. One of them right now is Sugetsu. It would have to be a stall out on time. Almost hoping that they can bait in these fights. Tag connected. It's not the worst. And well, they might just try and hightail it back. It's a long rotation back towards this A side. Sugetsu's going to have to try and delay them as much as humanly possible. They're going to go all the way up to the vent, and he's using that poison orb, but they're going to go straight through it. Look to try and fight him. He's won that first battle. Timing going to be everything. Bayaz has just dropped the spike, and he's taken down everyone! Bayaz has done it all on his own! Everything else doesn't even matter at this stage. There just isn't enough time! What a round from the leader of Gentlemates!
He's had a couple of big performances, but that one right there, decayed by the orb, trades his teammate, still decayed. He goes for another fight, and another fight, and another fight. Unbelievable.
He shot his own teammate afterwards, I love it.
Just pure panic. This was a beautiful moment also. You hear the Cypher asking where they are, and he gets the answer with a bullet to the side of the head, but this, 45 down to 5. Oh, 6-3. Mates getting hyped up, breaking the 2-round streak of NAVI and putting them in a pretty rough spot. Look at the pistols in play. There's a lot of them for that attacking side. Xiao, though, has the rifle.
What?
And the show is just beginning. He's found 2. Bayaz wants another big performance. He's being baited, and sure, he gets Xiao. But there's Zipan trading it out. Rifle recovered. Sight taken. Even an upgrade for Angel as well. 4 versus 2. And what a resounding response this is from the attackers. Blink and you miss it. I think mates are saving.
Ooh, maybe not now.
Think about it.
Yeah, look, you can even see a few questions being asked. In terms of economy, yeah, you can even see that
That's a win.
NAVI are gonna think about this. Surely he's not still going for it at this stage of the round. Like, that bought enough time that, yeah, it would have had to be a serious gamble. I can understand why you'd have the belief after some of the rounds they've been able to win. But again, applying logic to any of the rounds, I feel like we can almost just remove the sidebars, blank out what guns they have, and just guess who's going to win the round. Because going off who has the better purchase is the wrong call.
It means nothing. It means nothing. Not when you got one rifle, whether it's Artisan mid, picking off Takas, or this round, Xiao just waking up.
What's that? They've got 2 rounds that they won, yeah, with
One rifle.
just basically 1 rifle.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it was 2, but they were Guardians last time. Then they had an almost win with just 1 rifle. That was where Angel had it.
Was it 2 Guardians? I thought it was just Artisan pistols. Either way, it's impressive.
I think they had 1 extra, but it just didn't really do anything.
Okay, yeah. Probably makes sense, actually. They had 4 guns coming out of it. But yeah, either way, NAVI have surprised us with the rounds that they're winning, that's for sure. Mates have almost been able to fight their way right back in. Oh no, that's a full commitment that he wins! Ah!
Like, Natank was stunned, but man's using a judge.
Now, Natank was stunned, and then I was stunned. That was ridiculous. Xiao's at
Rolling
least
Thunder's
been
been
equalized on. Takas. Oh, Bayaz down as well. The numbers for mates thinning out, and a swing into 2 stun doesn't matter.
Yeah, they were both, again, the sheer value of the Rolling Thunder stun when both peaks there were up against 2 stun players, and they have done the classic thing of shooting their opponent in the face.
It's cosmetic, man. It's cosmetic. You got to get used to it a little bit, but once your tolerance is up for those Rolling Thunders, you know, once you're used to what it does to your aim, you're fine.
Just need first bullet accuracy. If you've got that, you're sound.
I'll say, I have noticed some of the players on that stage, maybe even a lot of the players on that stage, they tend to have okay first bullet accuracy.
They're all right. They're all right.
Stun does a bit more to me than it does to them. I'll tell you that.
Oh, 6-5. Again, I think if this ends as a 6-6 half, Gentlemates have got to feel a little bit hard done by. They started this off absolutely flying. At 5-1, Na'Vi took a pause. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Bayaz, they would have won every single round since.
Yeah.
It's only been that hero play from their IGL that turned the round. If he didn't have a judge, I think I would have been a little bit more forgiving. But when you're stunned up and you have a judge, I still kind of expect you to get the kill. And yeah, you're just looking at stunned players on stunned players.
C'est bon. La vie de moi, on revient, on met 7.
6-5. It's not a bad defensive side just yet. They can still come out of this 2 rounds to the good. But Navi have certainly built up that confidence 4 out of the last 5. Like you said, it was Bayaz's round that got it on the board. Showstopper, we've been waiting for it from the tank. He had a very impressive one earlier on. And I think incorrectly. I thought he was about to blast pack down the ramp and go straight into Sagetsu, but it's a much more tempered play. Going off the flash and the swing, they'll keep Showstopper for late round.
Well, a swap of guns. Initially, Bayaz was the one with the judge, but it's been given back to Natan. Again, you kind of expect him to do something aggressive, but when you have, I was gonna say, for a retake, you could potentially use these ultimates, but no, Takas wants it for info. He's gonna spot out 2 players. That's also Angel with the spike. He's gonna have to retreat all the way back into mid. I assume he's gonna teleport away, because otherwise he's a nutcase, but yeah. He does.
He completes his ultimate first, and that's the important thing. That sound cue is heard by the whole team, or most of them at least. Navi very cautious as they rotate back from middle. Meanwhile, Takas is just back over on A, holding his control, having caused paranoia to his opponents. And the minima is disgusting, and I wish I didn't have to see it. Showstopper, the tank, he needs to clear his right corner. It's going to be a tough one. Blast back used, and he's seen him, but Angel lands the shot so quickly.
They had 20 seconds left though. 2 players still within this site, looking to try and hold the line. Kadavra at the back, his teammate already gone. They check him though, and every single fight goes the way of Na'Vi. Takas, well, whether he had his ult or not right now, a 1 versus 5. We've seen Na'Vi let round slip, but this would have to be the worst of them. And Andaluthia flawless. That said, if after that pause they won every single round except a hero play, what a resurgence from this side. The 2nd time they've done this in this series.
That's a very impressive shot by Angel. A split second later, and he's going to be taken down. Maybe even giving a chance for that site control.
For this.
The Heaven player was there to support, but a good shutdown. Navi 6-6, 5 out of 6 rounds. Bayaz with the 1 big play. And the momentum very much rolling for this side. Now they swap over to the defensive side. We'll see mates mount their attack. And look, Natank had some really good early rounds. He was popping off. Himself and Takas on the attack could be a very dangerous duo.
That's the thing. Both teams in their victories have been better on the attack side versus Koi and GX. 7 and, well, 11 rounds. Everybody remembers how that one went. For Na'Vi, they've had struggles even in their victories when it comes to the defensive side. So it's going to have to be a new look today. And after throwing in the tank early, they're now moving back towards middle. Nothing for Sugetsu, as his control will be lost.
Kata got the call there. I've hit him a few times. He's low. And this guy, he trusts in his teammates. Straight in, jumping with the right click.
Look at it. They've gone completely the wrong way. Hook, line, and sinker all the way to the other side of the map. And That A site's now completely open.
Yeah, it's the smoke put down up in heaven. The fact that they already have control over Garage, I'm surprised they commit so heavily to the rotate. It's locked them out of A.
Find you.
And they're going for it right here and now. No support, surrounded. Look at the map. Red all around these Navi players. Angel is dead in the open. Zipman hadn't gone with him. Rotations as the rest of the team quickly wants to get back over here because the fight had already begun without them. And now they're staggered. Xiao's taking a while to get here. Smoke up top. He'll try to, or no, smoke down below, in fact. There's a gate crash beside him. He's being watched. Whalers has got him on lockdown, and Zipan's just attempting an impossible clutch. The cam spotted him. There's players all around. They literally have him boxed in. One player in every direction. 7-6. Gentlemates, I mean, it's a good pistol round, but you can't help but think NAVI made a couple of mistakes before the retake even started.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to just try and catch them by surprise, but again, it's just a little disjointed. Like, Angel's in alone, trying to put the world on his back, and then every other player is just in an individual fight. Like, nobody even close. I think Artis was caught rotating, Zipan goes in later, and Xiao again is just over by the vents. It's 1v1s that, for mates, are easy to take.
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of that comes down to just a misread on timing. Like, when were the other players spotted and where were they seen? You're thinking that they're not up in heaven yet, that you've got a few extra seconds to catch the site players off guard and maybe take a 2 versus 2. Zipan didn't go with him, so a 1 versus 2. Sometimes you have those ideas, but that read has cost them greatly. That misread. 7-6. Pistols across the board for Navi. 2 sheriffs in play. Zipan and Angel, the ones you want to look at. And even without being seen, Sagetsu's the first to fall straight through the wall.
He's done a little bit of damage. Well,
Spike down A.
Bear's now lost. His supportive element has been superb. Xiao, I was going to say not long for this world, but somehow he's made it work. Angel, timing here is not bad. That player's already low, but he doesn't manage to connect the shots. And now Artis is going to try and do the same. First goes his way. Again, they're already making this round incredibly costly. And that's going to be a gun now into his hands. Still full HP. Kadavra has yet to retrieve anything, so if Artis doesn't manage to win this round, he might just deliver him a gun.
Yeah, well, 3 players invested pretty heavily, and we're already guaranteeing
30 seconds left.
that
Spike planted.
Kata's not going to have anything to fight with in his position, but like you said, it could be that weapon gifted over. He's been spotted, he's been heard, certainly reloading. Artis is just waiting for that repeat, but the smoke will eventually fade, and that's when Artis is in a lot of trouble up on top of this box. Takgas is just waiting for that moment. There's the spot, there's the swing. Great read by Artis, and he almost gets Takgas. 28 HP, a stun, a flash, everything to work with. The aftershock too. Artis starts it, tapping it, no, sticking it to halfway. Takgas doesn't fall for the bait, not just yet. Here's the tap, has to swing, and just in time. As Artis went back to tap again to bait him in. Well, it's all too successful.
It's not the worst read in the world, but again, it's going to be the round going mates, but the cost is catastrophic. Like, they now have to make a decision of, okay, do we now just invest down and try and win this round? And, well, from what I'm seeing on the board, that is what they're doing. They're going to throw everything into this. Okay, sure, there'll still be a few players that can purchase because they had a couple of pistols and they also have 1 gun saved, but it definitely puts themselves in a tougher spot if they lose. And by the looks of it, they're going to take that extra time to actually talk through.
Bam. Raise. Defensive side. I want to see his early aggression. I want to see him get up in their faces. This is a good round for it, but I'm not sure we'll get it.
But this is the thing that coverage mates like to do. They like to try and use the fake out to try and, well, fake out their opponent. They're going to try and bait them into thinking that there's more players than they are. The steps, the spams, and in the meantime, it's going to be a full face into the other side of the map. They've held a couple of players here. This leaves Xiao as that solo defender this map where he plays that controller, he plays that anchor on the defensive side. And for now, at least, he's going to have to back out of there.
Zipan was already wise to this, though. The early information on A, not seeing anything follow it up. He's rotated. A lot of players from NAVI are ready for the fight, and Xiao most certainly is one of them. They've gone towards the back. It hasn't gone deep enough to flush those players out. That could have been disastrous for mates. They get a chance to fight together. Bea's already out of flashes. In fact, everybody is. Nothing to initiate these duels. Instead, it has to be raw aim fights, and I don't want to see Xiao go crazy. Shot from Sagetsu. Both players spotted on the back, tagged up low, and now Xiao can go swinging. He's not even needed. And Andalucia flawless from the side of NAVI, and that's one way to get back on the horse.
Yeah, I think the biggest worry as well is you lose 4 players in the last round. You've played this as a risk. You've thrown all of your weaponry in as the attack side because players won't be able to buy properly in the next round, and then you don't even get a kill. Like, you don't even make it costly for the side of NAVI, so that's a huge victory for them. And yeah, a lot of it just came down to the patience of Xiao. And that's the thing. We've hyped him up throughout the series, didn't have the best descent, but he'll always have his moments, and that was definitely a big one. And you can witness right now what it's done to Gentlemates. Pistols and a rifle means they're gonna win the round.
Xiao's being challenged. Oh, you're right, doesn't it? Doesn't it just?
It's a hero rifle.
There was a time where a hero sheriff was enough.
Yep.
This is the map for it, but not the players. It's okay. But for NAVI, 1 round behind, but now, oh, that cage almost worked perfectly for Angel. He's not blinded up. He's ready to stay and fight.
Yeah, it's the attack side cage.
They've seized as well. They have the information. The nade as well. Super low for Whalers. Great utility from Angel. The seize catching him is pretty much a death sentence as stands. But we saw this before. NAVI saw a little bit of aggression on A. I think there might even have been cages popped. And immediately the read was there. Zipan ran to the other side. This was just last round. Now they take an early fight. They see the Cypher. That's the lurk. Nobody else there. Prowler goes through. Nobody there. The call from NAVI is to stack up B side. Of course it is, because aim was wide open, but mates have filled back in the space again. They've done a good job to at least put themselves in a workable position, but because of the advantages, there's still 2 players waiting for them.
30 seconds
I
left.
think initially they did pull pretty much everyone over.
Yeah.
There was enough of a response. So Getsu's got to be careful here. It's not going to last too much longer. The stun's good though. That will slow them a little bit more. And they have no time. 12 seconds left on the clock. Nice shot, at least. They've already spotted the player up in heaven, waited by Angel, and now just looking to mow them all down. Kadabra will at least remove him from the scenario, but 3 players survive for NAVI. Scoreline equalized. And again, a win for NAVI sends mates out, sends them to playoffs, and that is it. We have everyone locked in. Nothing else matters. Both Liquid and mates themselves, well, they're preying on NAVI's downfall.
10 seconds left.
Kata made a good attempt at it, trading out the side player, but in the end, he's left in the shadow of the tree. 8-8, NAVI. Now looking to take that lead back, but there's going to be heavy resistance. Rifles in play for the attackers. Showstopper, I think it's right away. Blast pack already down. Here he goes. An attack straight into the site, and he's got a player, a potential victim up close. The rocket hasn't caught him, but the bullets have. Angel's down, and Sagetsu's not sticking around for too much more after his first, bailing back to play with his team, finding the 4 versus 4 on the back of his kill.
Know where they are, and that means that immediately Kadabra can start a rotation. He's going to try and get in behind them. He needs his team to basically just slow them down. If they can buy enough time, this flank will be valuable, but if they go down too quickly, it could be a problem. Straight into the site. Xiao's going to be the first man in, and well, he's the first man down as well. Takas with a double. Now Kadabra's flank is all but perfect, and it leaves just Ardis. Last man standing to face off against 3, stunned to slow him even further, and there's Kadabra again. A beautifully played after plum. And well done to Takas and Kadabra.
Ardis was left alone. I think he even caught with his rune dagger in hand as that round falls to runes for the NAVI side, but their economy still looking pretty healthy. They'll be able to invest into it. And on the side of Gentlemates, they come in, showstopper to entry, pushes the team way back. You can't hold your standard default holds once that ult is activated. Won't be the same in this coming round. For NAVI, Nightfall, and everything else just around the corner.
Straight away. Dimensional drift. Nightfall used immediately. It is going to get a lot of information, but the same is going to be there for either side. And actually, even with the decay, they're opting to try and push around this. Takas has actually stuck the ult as well, so he's still going to be there above. Nade being utilized to try and claim that spot in heaven, but they're yet to find any of the NAVI players.
That gate crash, it's faked out towards the screens. They drop in. Find Takas. Zipan activates the showstopper and is hot on their heels. The shot doesn't land. The nade thrown up, and it costs him his life. Kata quickly fires back. and puts this in a very winnable position for Gentlemates. The tank is low. He's the first point of contact. Artis has them lined up, but he only gets the first. And it was a bullet to the body. No connections to the head afterwards. It could have fallen apart, but instead, it's the IGL of Angel left to clutch this out for NAVI. Double digits around the corner for Gentlemates. And remember, a victory in this series, it doesn't lock mates in, but it locks NAVI out.
Where are you?
They'll live to fight another day. But Angel started this off well.
Bring them down.
First kill goes his way.
No charges. Bring them down.
The shots will help. He now knows where one of them is, but he has no idea that Bears is in this corner. The bullets will give it away, though. That's now all the information he could ever possibly need. Needs to land the shot, but he won't. Kadabra, too good right now, as they will hit double digits. Troublesome for Na'Vi. They had their opportunities in this round of 4 versus 4, but it was maybe a little overzealous. Whalers in the back lines, and just a solid response again from Kadabra, top of the board when it comes to this
Can
map.
do punish with stun from side. We don't have Cypher, bro.
Well, I hope no one was calling for traps there. You put your cam over, couldn't really be worse. The lifeline bought by their stage 1 performance will amount to nothing. 2 rounds between them, but that could extend to a much greater deficit here. Mates, full rifles, rolling thunder for Artis. From the shadows from Shao, but I'm not sure the impact past rotations that will have.
To a point, this almost seems like a last-ditch effort. Weaponry, not ideal, but a rolling thunder. Viper's Pit not far away, and the ults on the other side not particularly close. Let's say it's an advantage, and definitely not now. Angel has been a pressure point. Someone that mates have been happy to isolate, put pressure on. This time he does have support. Well, Zipan should be able to get the information with the bar, but they're going to try and just run straight off of it. The nade, solid. Doesn't do as much damage as maybe hoped.
Or as much damage as I thought. Zipan has a chance though to follow up with a bit more. Takes down the tank, but Takas now in a rough spot. He can cause a lot of problems for this squad. Artis is keeping it boxed in. Sagetsu's lost his life. Artis straight on it, but he can't catch them in time. Mates slipping through Navi's grasp and moving to the other side of the map. Well, we've talked about the Shao show, and we've even seen a couple of highlights, the pilot earlier on.
It's a fake.
He's not going to get the chance. Yeah, in fact, the steps are hurt here. Rolling Thunder's even baited out by 1 man. That's just Bayaz caught by it, while the rest of the squad goes back. The Shao show seemed unlikely, but with 7 health, Angel, he can deny this plant perhaps. In fact, with that TP, oh, they've seen him! That could have been it! The Hail Mary play for Navi is denied. It falls flat, and mates 11-8.
He sold Shao down the river. It was all just a ruse to try and get that plant denial, and I think must have just seen a pixel of the player. The gall of Takas to stick that TP. It's just the faith that they have in each other, and it's just that final moment he goes a little bit too far. Could have ended the round off time, but instead, another savior steps up for Gentlemates. 2 rounds now from them sending Na'Vi out, closing their stage 2 with a victory, and closing Na'Vi's with none.
They might have found their map, but yeah, the series victory still evading them. 5 series in a row now, 4 this stage. I like the stun TP combo. Takas in a good position, deep flash. A little too shallow, I suppose, on the bounce back. But the control taken nonetheless, the pressure applied to Navi. They don't respond with aggression on any side of the map. Sitting back, it makes it harder for mates to catch because they are spreading the net. It's always Kadavra and Whalers. Regardless of what map it is, these guys are sent out to catch over aggression to punish these players on the opposite side. But there's no opportunities here, so they group up, and the death ball will run in once more.
Sleep.
Well, nice start for Angel. Sees. Well, that's not going to catch anybody. Still got a couple of players towards the back of this site. 35 seconds, but Shao's caught in the open. Angel's decision to try and go forward. The thing is, the
30
TP
seconds
has
left.
been spotted. It's awkward, and he eventually gets the job done. Sugetsu's found another. It's another scenario where Na'Vi have nothing in the round, but somehow it seems to be working out for them. Nade is going to delay a little longer. Whalers is trying to defend, but he just can't do it, and I don't know how. But Na'Vi have won another round. A pay safeguard, Thrifty. I feel like they should just play with low buys at this point.
They might have thrown the next round already, Tom, because they picked up all the weapons. They should have just carried through the pistols. Their Thrifty rounds have been unbelievable. This opening pick is good. This,
30 seconds.
We didn't need that.
no, there was zero need to show that C's. Just want to put that on record. Zero need. But at least, look, if they lost the round the C's was in there, I think it'd sting a little bit more. 2-round gap, winnable for Navi yet again. That could have been the round that put one more nail in the coffin and wedged it shut, but now they've still got life in them.
That's just whether that can be replicated. It's like the second a round shouldn't be possible, it immediately becomes up to them to prove us wrong. Sugetsu was impressive with the Guardian in the last round, checking to see that he hasn't been baited, but it isn't the case. A much more passive stance, but it seems like it's going to be a blitz in towards this B site with Xiao under pressure.
But he hasn't played here before. It is spotted on the way out, but he can easily reposition, avoiding the TP that had come in from Takas, who's now on the back of the site causing problems. Deleting Angel. Bayaz fights his way forward, considers putting in the Rolling Thunder, but it might still be seen, but it all comes down to the impact of Whalers, who's being spotted and denied. Nice shot by Sugetsu, 31 HP, but he's still going. Artis to back him up. There's the shot from Takas, one more needed, but Artis steps in to save the day. 11 to 10, just one round in it. Navi aren't giving up hope just yet.
Sugetsu, for the love of God, play a Guardian.
Every
like,
round.
for the love, stop playing the rifle. The second he has one bullet to hit the shot, he hits the damn shot. That's 6 kills in the last 2 rounds. He's at the top of the board right now. And again, it's a massive advantage initially. 2 immediate kills back. Takas able to help out massively with that. But then it's his Guardian. It's just so clean with it.
You know, after this, I can see the off-season, Navi better be keeping their deep pockets, because I think Scream's going to be coming in, cigar in his mouth, saying, I'm putting a team together. I think you're the man.
Oh,
Decoy not falling for it. Oh, and he's got Takas, and he's got out of there. How has Zipan gotten away with that? Navi have turned up to play. You're dead to that shotgun, but your buddy's not. Sugetsu's out with the trade, and Xiao's quick on it. Blink and you miss it yet again. A fast-paced round by mates, but they run head first into the brick wall of Navi.
The cause of gentle mates trying to will their team back, because after 3-round streak in the game looking done, Navi, again, it seems like they have endless pockets to dig deep into, to find something in a round. I have no idea how this set play didn't work to catch out Zipan. He survived far too long, even holds on for an extra kill at the end, and that,
Okay.
right, that's what ends up helping close the round. Gentle mates are gonna take this one. We had a different word yesterday, we got a new one today. We're getting swears in every...
Together 3 rounds, more than 3 rounds in a row. 3 is the limit, and then it's reset. Their opponents are picking it up. Navi might be about to break it, and what a time it would be to reset the trend that we've seen over these last 22.
The trend of low buys winning rounds.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
And guess what mates have?
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready for it. Guardians in play. I think they've been the most successful weapon so far.
Big olds too.
Already looking to try and just get that information, but it's a ruse. Again, they're trying to sell this fake, and they have made an opening. The thing, oh, this was jump spotting, but he's moved away. He's moved away, and now the steps are going to be heard going into the site. Those ults are going to be even more impactful in the post plant. The stun's not bad. Looks like he might just try and face this one. Does he clear the close angle? He knows the Whalers is there, but the spam can't quite clear him. He'll live to fight at least a little longer.
He might have taken a few of his fingers off, but he'll be alive for the late round. Navi, not in a great position, to be honest. The disadvantage is made up for by the ults, but the tank taken down in split seconds. This is falling apart for mates. They seem to have a good position to play from. Some good facets to it, but there's no way to deny this. There's no stopping the defuse. No stopping what's already started. NAVI, the comeback is on. The 3-round streaks being the maximum, no longer 12-11. Map and series point for a team that was looking down and out just a few rounds ago.
I'd love to get the stats on how many showstoppers have been popped where Angel has insta-killed the tank. Like, even in the one where he got 2 kills, Angel killed him before he got those 2 kills. I think that might be 3 for 3 on showstoppers he's popped where Angel has killed him. The blood is pumping for Na'Vi, there's no doubt about it. That's the most emotion I've seen from this team all stage. And now it comes down to the last lifeline for mates. They had this dead and buried. Na'Vi were already stepping onto the flight home. Again, we've seen that Nightfall used immediately. Sugetsu under pressure, but he still wins the fight. He's not going to get the second one, though. They'll level things up, and they'll get the info. And well, the info is the shouts very deep in B main.
Said it about NAVI, tournament life is on the line, and whenever it is, whenever they're backed into a corner, and it seems like they're about to face death, they fight their way back. Sure, the A site's taken, but the spike further away. It's going to take a while, and it's being watched by Angel. His positions, his shots have been perfect time and time again. And now a stun primed by Bayas. There's no control in heaven, but they thought it was clear. Navi have gotten away with it. And now the advantage extended further. Whalers the last man, and Navi facing tournament death. And death becomes their blade once more. It's Xiao to close it 13-11. A sensational comeback.